on a Friday, and my grandmother's on a cruise.
Well, hey, that's exciting. Also, you know what else is exciting?
Oh no! Don't say I got a recap.
Well, I mean, we are going to talk about the Cody Kids. Welcome to Strixhaven, everybody. My name is Nick. Say hi to all of our courageous Cody kids. Say hi, courageous Cody kids.
Hi, courageous
Cody kids.
That's just fun to say. Yeah, who wants to give a recap of what happened last time? I can make y'all roll for it, or you could just do it as a group.
Oh no, my mic is cut out.
We were at the Wiltroot Hall for the first challenge of the Mage Tower games on the quest to collect 6 mascots for the different schools. And so we were in the middle of the party was already split up. Half the party had already found or spotted one of these caterpillar mascots between a couple of giant elk, and the other half of the party was engaged with these like trash monsters outside of some huts. So Lavinia, Alistair, and Meepo were able to handle the trash monsters and continued on to the next hut where there was a water weird inside of it that Alistair was able to talk to and convince it that if we let that mascot stay in place, it would show us to where the fractal mascot was at. And then we encountered the mushroom monster beyond that, who was just disturbed by these chitinous shell pieces that Lavinia was able to piece together. And upon pulling one of them free, that creature just kind of took off. Lavinia was able, and Alistair was able to capture the next mascot with a sleep spell on it, I think. And then we found another hut with some herbalism supplies that Alistair was organizing and putting into an herbalism kit for us. While meanwhile, Sin, Tasha, and Kieran, after engaging with a giant boar and dealing with these 2 giant elk that had pounded Sin into unconsciousness, Kieran collected the pest mascot and healed Sin up in the same go round. And before some flumps got wild magicked onto the battlefield and
again, don't forget the word again. Like, if I had a nickel for every time flumps showed up and flumped somebody, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
But luckily, some good news is Kieran found a new best friend in the world with the paint mascot in the next hut beyond.
His name's Peter.
Peter the paint mascot. And Sin scooped up the Inkling mascot, I think it was, near some Onkegs and an ochre ooze. And we found out that Theta Pi got eliminated from this round of games.
What can
Cody
you
Hall
do?
Finished second, and Omega Tau finished first, and we beat Zeta Beta, who came in third. And then some drama started to unfold with Kieran and Zeta Beta, as she didn't spill the beans. She didn't go with her girls. She just went solo to engage.
Kieran.
And there were some heart-to-hearts happening in Sin and Tasha's room. And I think that's where we left off.
I mean, I can't think of anything you missed.
Did you skip over Sin getting stabbed?
Sin got beat into the ground and almost died from some giant elk. I do believe that got
but that's
covered.
nothing special.
Sin was also like alter ego Meepo chasing after the last mascot.
Dark Meepo.
Yes, Darth Meepo. Yes, Darth Meepo was a thing. Yeah.
I really enjoyed fucking with Meepo. That was great.
Okay, and so then you all came back to Cody Hall, and there were conversations being had. I believe Lavinia and Rowan spoke. Alistair went and hung out with Aurora, I think, and then everyone else was just hanging out, chatting. Where we are going to pick up with the Cody kids, you have all taken a long rest. Just me too, dogs.
Actually,
Oh, go ahead.
We left off with both Alistair and Lavinia heading to the Biblioplex about this chitin thing. Because it had like a rune on it or something. And
If you
that's what Roan
remember
was talking
George
to
the
Lavinia
Mage
about.
Hunter.
That's right. That is right. We can pick up right there. I'm fine with that. 1 second. Should have listened to my own VOD. Didn't do that.
On December 27, 2022, a passenger from crew.
What?
Mermaid Jewel was airlifted to Orlando.
I think Rachel's talking to herself.
I think she is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was... Sorry.
That was funny. Made me laugh. All right. So we are over at the Biblioplex, which is good because, in fact, I believe I could take everybody over to the Biblioplex because I did need to. I also wanted to reward you guys for your efforts in the mascot marathon. What did I call it? Mascots everywhere.
Oh.
The mascots event. You all are able to get one uncommon magic item that can be purchased from the student store, which happens to be located at the Biblioplex. So, if everyone wants to, they can look through the magic items. We're looking at uncommon magic items within reason that can be purchased at the student store, which is located here.
Whoa!
And I put you
Where
all
can we look
on
at
the
the
map.
uncommon things again?
Those would be located on D&D Beyond, as well as in the DMG. But here, let me get you a link to magic items in D&D Beyond. Boop! And you just change rarity, and you can click uncommon or common. Totally could take a common item if you want. And within reason, remember, can be purchased from the student store. I don't think any uncommon items are game breaking, so.
Who is running the student store?
Good question. Let me grab one of my NPCs. I think I got them in here. Boop.
I want the Band of Loyalty, please.
I don't know what it is. What's it do?
If you're reduced to 0 hit points while attuned to a Band of Loyalty, you instantly die.
Why would you
I
want
am
that?
not following that girl code.
Why would you want that?
No, I'm
She wants to
joking.
kill me.
It's a ring apparently made for spies when they fall into enemy hands.
Yeah. It's a cyanide ring is what it is.
Yeah, I still again ask the question, why would you want that?
No, I'm joking.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, I'm sure. After playing a bard, I know how easy it is to knock a bard down, so I'm not doing that. And Kieran has almost died several times, so.
I've come the closest. Got you beat.
Nah, you're right.
Try harder.
I just need to make a decision here. I am sorry. I am taking the lion.
We're looking at magic items. Do your thing.
That's true. I hadn't thought of that. There is no rush here.
Yes! I know what I'm taking. I just got to it. I don't care about anything else. This is great.
Here we go. I'm gonna make Oskier the one that runs this bitch.
Sin would like the gauntlets of ogre power.
Sure. I don't
Nothing
have a
else
problem.
matters. Only strength.
I don't have no problem with you having a 19 strength. It's not like Agrimar does anything with his massive strength stat.
No. Only cast spells. That's all.
I mean, you did swing your mace finally.
Yeah. Thematically, it's more that I think that she failed in her acrobatics dance move because her body couldn't hold up to the pressure. And Gauntlets of Overpower should help that. I'll join the breakdancing brigade.
What kind of like reflavor Gauntlets of Ogre Power for Strixhaven? You feel me? How is this an item that's available at the student general store?
Oh, 100%. This is to help the nerdy kids pass their physical exams. With Rosie and that fucking dwarf's name.
Okay, I like it.
She goes pump some iron, and Rosie gives her some sweatbands for her wrists, and they go pump some iron.
It's like some like weightlifters gloves.
Yeah, weightlifters gloves.
There you go. I like it.
Does that mean I can multi-class out of paladin?
I didn't force you to do
I joke.
anything.
I joke.
You're the one that made every decision along the way.
And I love it.
And then Alistair and Lavinia, you are absolutely able to attempt to go do some research.
All right, yeah, I'll have to.
Oh, somebody fill Ben in on what's happening.
It looks like we're at the library for study hall.
And you also get to pick a magic item with either uncommon or common rarities. And you're available to buy that from the student store inside of the biblioplex.
And you guys are also able to go do research on... what was the word again?
Titan? The Titan thing or whatever?
What does it belong
Mage
to,
Hunter.
though? We weren't told. That's why we're looking.
Alistair remembered the two words Mage Hunter when trying to recall information about the chitin when Lavinia showed him.
Oops.
Oh, was those the creatures?
That's right. You look up mage hunters.
I mean, you don't know anything about them.
Well, you mean there won't be just a book called Mage Hunters 101?
Nope, probably not. But I was actually responding to Lucas when he said,
What did I say?
huh? You're like, oh yeah, those creatures. I was like, you don't know anything about them.
I know. That's why I said those creatures. That's very unanimous. Those creatures with scales. There's a lot of them.
So yeah, let me know when y'all are ready to proceed, and how you would like to proceed.
I'm trying to think of a way how she would find this thing, but without, well, knowing absolutely nothing about it. Because if I remember correctly, she failed any of the checks to identify it.
True, Alistair didn't. So there, you got that going for you at least.
You will let Alistair take the lead then, assuming that, they're looking in the same place. I don't know. I've never had to study in the library, so I don't even know where to start. Or and
Does this
how
library
is
have like? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you were talking first.
Does the library have like a card catalog? And I mean, I'm assuming it doesn't have a computer system, but some sort of reference system that would help us look things up.
I mean, there are librarians. Like Professor Sharpbeak is one of the librarians, and there are various different like help desks for people to go ask questions at.
I'm going to start asking around, and basically, we know it's this chitinous thing, so that seems sort of insectoid, maybe.
Yeah, kind of
We'll
bug-like.
ask for books on like insect species or dangerous creatures with insect-like attributes. And since I have the mage hunter, like that sort of phrase, possibly name in my head, also check for things like that. Beasts known to be particularly dangerous for magic users.
Also, like, how big is the chitin? I don't remember asking if we just established how big the piece was.
It's not like huge. Like, it's probably like, I don't know, the size of like a postcard.
That's pretty big.
I mean, it was a piece like sticking out of like a creature, right? Like, you noticed it, right? It wasn't small, but like, it's a decent sized chunk.
So then if there's a book on it, we could also look for specifically larger creatures. Oh no, if some books classify between different sizes or like whatever.
Yeah. So you do get, like here in the main library, you do get a few different references, right? You find information on any number of like giant centipedes, giant beetles, giant scorpions, all of those kinds of creatures. You find information on a creature called an Umber Hulk that lives in, the Underdark. You found information on these creatures called Thrycreens. You found information on the Onkegs, which seem familiar, to you. They are the things that you fought out when near the Inkling. You find information on What?
I'm sorry, you cut out on that last part. The onkeg or what?
Oh, those creatures that you fought near the Inkling, that burst from the ground. The Onkegs. Pretty sure that's how you say that, right?
Yeah, that's how I've usually said it.
Yeah, and then you also find information on like ettercaps, which are, for all you spider fucker fans,
Fuck yeah,
a
man.
spider-like
Well,
creature.
spiders,
So those are some of the kind of like generic monster manual type creatures that you find information on. One of the librarians does let you know that there is more information located in the Scriptoria collections, but you need permission from a professor to be able to go down there.
Okay. So
Well,
we
I think
just need
really
to
we should
find
ask
a.
Margot's dad.
Obviously, we just need to find a professor that likes us enough.
I don't think there are many of those.
Does Ernst not count?
No, he's not
Oh.
professor yet.
Could maybe at some point Lavinia could track down Kasmina. She's a professor, right?
Nope, she is not.
She's like an advisor, isn't she?
Yep.
Damn it.
Don't we know someone whose parents are professors at this?
Oh,
Kieran?
you do indeed. Her parents are kind of pissed at her right now, though, because she's dating
But
Chad. There might be a kind of a demand, like, you want that permission, break up with that boy. That could be the call. I mean,
There is that dinner we keep flashing back to.
Dear God.
That's some good tea. You know, it's weird that we're talking shit
There's
about
also-
Kieran and she's not saying anything.
Oh no, I'm here.
I mean, I just met the guy, but the professor who's going to be teaching the classes that I signed up for.
You do have advisors. You have your professors that
Yeah.
teach your classes. You just met,
Yeah.
you know, Professor Blackstone. You know, you've got Professor Onyx. Like you guys know Professor. There's a whole list. There's a whole list of teachers.
We don't know anyone here.
You know, we haven't pissed off any of our new counselors. I wonder if they
You have met all of these people. There's only one person on this list that explicitly doesn't like you.
I mean, I'm totally open to y'all asking Kieran's parents because I want to see the tea.
Well, are any of us on friendly terms with Kieran's parents? That's the real question. Because I feel
No.
like if Kieran's not on friendly terms with her parents, why would we?
I mean, I would like to hear that conversation in character if y'all don't mind.
All you got to do is ask.
Well, then we'd also have to they'd have to think that our reason for going down there is good enough to be given permission.
I mean, one of them is eccentric, so he's like the Nigel Thornberry. He loves knowledge.
Since I'm going to be, or I am, the teaching assistant for Professor Tavash, I'd like to ask him if we spend like our time and we don't really find what we're looking for, then at some point I'll try to get him to give me permission.
That is possible. I will tell you, he is out at Wiltroot Hall. Like that's where he teaches out on the Witherbloom campus, not here in the Biblioplex. So you could totally do that. It just take you a minute.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming that like it's going to take us a while. Or I'm assuming it's going to take us a while to look through the library and figure out that we're not really seeing what we think we need, and that like I'd have to ask him on a different day for permission.
Exactly. Exactly. You got it.
For now, Alistair's just digging through the books.
And magic items. Don't forget about the magic items. I've only heard one response.
Ben's digging through the magic items.
Oh,
Scroll.
so that's digging through the books.
I would also like to, if it's possible to find anything on it. Lavinia kind of wants to look for that name that Rowan mentioned to her, Tezzeret.
You don't find anything on that.
I didn't expect for her to find anything on Planewalkers, but
Well, make me a history check.
I can sure try.
We'll leave it up to the dice.
17?
Nah, not high enough. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I didn't expect her to find anything.
It's close. It's close. Do you tell anybody that that's what you're looking for?
No.
Okay.
She's not like honestly not looking super hard, just kind of glancing over.
Could be interesting if you know you talked about it with each other. Trying to get you guys.
Hey,
to
look
talk.
what I can do!
Trying
Lifts
to
up
get
a
you guys to
bookcase.
talk in character because I don't think anyone has since we started this session.
I put on these gauntlets and I just start lifting really heavy shit.
Oh wait, are we all in the biblioteca?
Yeah.
Bibliotex? Oh.
Literally
well,
put
after-
all of your tokens in here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
How am I
you know,
supposed to just pick one? Can't I just get like all of them on like a lender?
No, Meepo, you have to choose one.
But like, you can trust me. I got a pretty good return policy with the library.
One or none.
After hearing,
Go ahead.
after hearing the, I just really want to see if I can talk to her parents because I think it's going to be funny. But Kieran, after hearing that you need a professor's permission to go into the restricted position, she'll turn to Lavinia.
No, the Scriptoria collections. Thank you.
The Scriptoria collections. She'll turn over and she'll go, actually, I think I do know 2 professors who'd probably be willing to sign us a note to get in there. I could
Who?
try to talk to them. My parents.
Your parents?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely.
I thought they were upset with you.
They're
Why would they
disappointed.
help you?
That's different. Look, they love knowledge. They love knowledge. My father especially loves knowledge. They'll totally sign it if we just tell them a reason. They'll be open to it. And also, they seem to like you guys. They think you're a positive influence because, they think you're a
Oh,
positive influence.
okay. So you're not asking them, we're asking them.
I could open up the conversation and, we could have a nice dinner, preferably, without any earrings around anything that goes into other people's foods. And, that's what we could do.
Oddly specific.
I'm sorry,
You're
earrings
supposed to
for
go in
food?
your ears.
No, Chad really wanted to impress them, so he wore like a giant's earring, which technically wasn't a giant's earring, it was a dwarven make, so it didn't really make any good impressions. And while I was trying to do, kind of a sign in something to me, the earring flew out of his ear into my father's soup.
That's
was
our
really-
Well, that
Chad.
Chad's a real character.
Oh, he is, and unfortunately, that's not the worst thing he did. It's actually sort of in the middle.
So what was the worst?
I'd rather not say. Anyway, do you want me to contact them? Because I could do it right now. I'd rather not relieve that date. Or specifically, when he ordered the brioche when he meant to order the cheddar cheese. And then he
I mean, you
cried
sure
for the-
keep bringing it up a lot for somebody that doesn't want to relive it.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to bring it up anymore. Okay, you know what? I'm going to... Do you want my parents' signatures or not?
I don't know. What did he have after the brioche?
Oh, God. he ate... He ate, the hand washing water. He drank it.
Oh,
He didn't just wash his hands in the sink?
No.
Do you not
it was
wash your
at a-
hands in sinks?
It was a very fancy restaurant, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to dip your hands into this bowl of water. Ever seen Shrek 2? That's exactly what happened. And he was dipping his fingers into there, and then he drank the water, and then we had some wine, and he drank out of the spit bucket. Anyway, do you want my parents' signature or not? I'm kind of tired reliving this.
I mean, are you pretty convinced that they'll actually do it?
Of course, if you all come with me, they'll see, preferably someone from the Warhol College, and they'll just, I've been meaning to talk to them.
I want to insight check Kieran to see if she has an ulterior motive.
Sure.
Oh, hey, that's pretty good.
Does Kieran
Why do you
have
hate me if you're not lying?
Does Kieran have an ulterior motive?
Yeah, to kind of smooth things out with her parents just a touch. And to show that she's surrounded by good characters and that they should respect her judgment.
You think that Kieran might be using you a little bit?
Look, Lavinia, look. I see the look in your eye. Just trust me on this. Okay?
Especially because you know Chad really well, so...
Fine. I'll come with you to talk to your parents. Do not use me as a scapegoat.
No, I'm not
I broke
going
Sin's
to.
leg. I can break yours, but I'd heal it. I promise.
I'm not going to. And you can ask for a permission slip to go into the I forgot, Nick. What is it called?
The
You need a permission
Scriptoria
slip to go to
collection.
your mom's house.
The Scriptoria College. Yeah, does anyone else want to come? Meepo? Actually, Sin, my parents really liked... no, wait, Alistair. My parents really liked you. They said, oh, he was a very nice
I know.
boy.
They don't like me very much.
No, they do. They like all of you except Chad.
Tasha's
I am
there
quite
too.
interested.
Huh?
Tasha's there too.
Who's talking?
Oh, poor Jeremy.
Oh,
The
God.
new girl.
Tasha's still looking at magic items.
I'm so sorry, Jeremy.
You're okay.
That was funny.
Don't worry. We're gonna
That
go
was a
jam
very
out later.
Kieran response.
We have not talked that much, Tasha and I.
Who's Tasha?
Oh,
You
yeah,
walked.
No, she...
The only time she saw Tasha was when, like, I broke my leg, and then after that, she split.
Yeah, she was fooling around with
Completely
Chad.
ignored Tasha was a part of our group that whole event.
Jeez.
No, of course. Yeah, Tasha could come. She seems to be, you know, good with stuff. I think my father would like to pick her brain. But who wants to get a note and, you know, potentially make my parents not disappointed in me anymore? I am seeing no objections here.
I am quite interested. I would like to get into the scriptorium.
All right, okay. We're doing great. Does this sound New Jersey enough?
Yes, it does.
Sin would like to pull Meepo aside. Apparently.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, I am really, really, really sorry about what happened earlier. It was wrong. And I know I told you that, and we made up, but I still feel really bad about it.
It's all right. Just remember, consent is key.
Right, and I would like to give you something if you would consent to taking it.
Phrasing.
It's a gift.
It sounds like a setup.
No, it's not. It's not a setup. I want to help you so you can help us.
All right. Sin, if that's really you.
Sin smirks and thinks like their face starts to change, but then they think better of it. It is really me, Beepo. And she gets down on a knee and she hands over her reward for the magic item and gives Meepo a headband, a circlet. Hey, I want you to be on your very best game, so that way all of us could eventually, raise to the top like you want to be. Like, you got to be smart if you're gonna get to where you want to get. And Sin hands over a headband of intellect to Meepo.
Oh, shit.
And puts back the gauntlets.
I put back the ogre gauntlets. There's no reason to be strong if you got people that you care about. You gotta build up the whole team, not just yourself, right? Girl code, lift up your girls.
Headstrong to take on
Well, shut.
Yes.
Jen. I'm not attuned to this just yet, so I don't really think I got the words to say what I'm feeling right now. But thanks a whole bunch, buddy.
You want to get a coffee while you ponder that item?
I'd love to.
Okay. While they're doing book stuff, we can go get a coffee.
Yeah, it's right there.
Slide over to the right.
It's
I'll get
like
us a cup of coffees.
it's like your first day of school back all those days ago.
Oh no.
Alistair
Can I
remembers
get
this
two,
is one of the first places he ever set eyes on Aurora.
Wasn't she like sitting at this table with
I-
Melbathorn?
I don't know,
Yeah.
Alistair, was she?
Well, I think right there.
Yeah, right in the middle. I think
yeah,
he knocked
sitting there
over a
with
couple of
Melbathorn,
chairs.
looking all beautiful.
Aurora Winterstar. So, something else that you all need to worry about, speaking of being at the library, is you do have your Glyph of Warning test for scrivening and symbology. So, this is a great opportunity for us to do the studying phase. So, how would y'all like to study, or would you like to study, for your test?
Definitely study.
Definitely studying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Meepo
I
have a
love-
beautiful mind moment, and I'm gonna try to copy everything that he says out loud.
Can I just say, I love how scared y'all are of tests.
Oh, we've been rolling like shit.
It just
I
it,
have not
also-
failed the
it just
test, thank
brings
you very
me
much.
joy. I'm just saying.
Also, half of us don't have the skills to do well on this test.
Right.
What are the-
Investigation
what are
and
the skills for the test?
Arcana? What do you mean?
Investigation
Nope.
and Arcana.
Nope.
No.
Got a +1 in those guys.
So we better study hard, because it sounds like this year this is going to be a tough subject for people. So, how are
Sorry,
we going to
Kadaris,
study?
I got a new study buddy.
You can study together, you can pull an all-nighter, or you can skip studying.
Oh shit, I forget what the rules were for that. Let me pull that up.
Well, once
Oh, shit.
again, I will try to organize a study group, and
You are
Anybody who
at
wants to
the
study together totally can.
library right now with everyone. Just saying. Get
that's what I'm
organizing.
saying. Like, as long as we're here, and I'll also try to get a hold of Aurora.
Did we ever clarify the rules on exhaustion for pulling an all-nighter?
Yes. So basically, you get 2 rerolls, but because you're exhausted, they're at disadvantage.
Oh,
It's
God.
2 rerolls, not 1.
Right.
Right.
But you get the point
you
of
get, like super advantage.
but you get the point of exhaustion, so they're at disadvantage because you do stay up all night. So that's kind of what it evens out, right? You pull an all-nighter, but you tired.
Okay, but what if I study together and pull an all-nighter? Can I just make it a straight roll?
You still get a point of exhaustion.
No, I just don't want to fail.
Well, let's study then.
I'm going to literally cry if she fails.
Yeah, so studying together, it looks like you
this
get.
is cutting to some deep trauma for Rachel connected to school.
So studying together gets you advantage on your study phase to see if you even get advantage on your testing phase.
To get a
Pulling an all-nighter
reroll
goes straight to
on-
the testing phase.
To get a reroll on your testing phase, correct.
Yeah, so just studying together just means that we might succeed at getting enough information to possibly get a roll during the test. If you do an all-nighter, you get the reroll during the test, but you're tired.
You get 2 rerolls during the test if you pull an
2
all-nighter,
rerolls, yeah.
but you're tired. Right. All accurate.
Yeah, since I have such a low stat, I am not pulling an all-nighter. I am just going to study together and hope that I get advantage on the test.
Good news is studying you can use any skill to do.
Yup.
So, how would you like to study? This one's on you guys. And you're in the Biblioplex, the central place of knowledge and chaos.
Ooh. I have an interesting way of doing this. I don't know if it'll work. Tell me, DM. If Meepo attunes to their item and they become super smart, can I try to use deception to give false facts to Meepo so that way he speaks the true facts and then I can learn what the true facts are from Meepo?
Give me the headband, and then we just review the notes you took, and I just start correcting all of your notes.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'll allow it.
All right. I'm using deception then.
Sure.
Nice. I got a 16 for a 24.
That is going to be high enough to succeed on your studying phase. So you're studying together. So did you roll that with advantage? I don't think it matters.
I could see if I crit. Maybe if I crit, I get a little something, little juice in the morning.
I'll give you 2 rerolls if you get a 20.
I got
on
a 17,
your
so
studying.
one better. 25.
I feel like that's fair.
I got a 25. So I think that should be 1 roll for the morning, 1 roll for the test.
There you go. Mark it down. What's everyone else doing? As Meepo and Sin come back with coffee.
Kieran is going to have her head, like her nose deep in books, and is whispering to herself, like creating songs that go along with the vocabulary concepts and just everything.
All right. So are you looking to roll a performance check, or what are you looking to roll?
Rolling to roll a performance check.
All right. Go ahead and roll it.
Oh, sugar, honey, iced tea, come on.
The good news is, because you're studying as a group, you have advantage on this roll. I will tell you. There you go. I was going to say, the DC is 15. So, Kieran, you are able to kind of create some mnemonic devices for yourself, and you gain yourself 1 reroll.
Hooray!
Well done. Who's next?
Alistair will go next.
Lay it on us, smart boy.
Since this is an Arcana-based test, he's just going to really focus in on using his Arcana to help him out.
You kind of are the best person. You are the number 1 equipped person for this test, I think.
So, roll with advantage on Arcana, correct?
Sure. All right, you got it both times. You have 1 reroll for this test, Alistair.
Excellent.
How did you want to try to get a hold of Aurora?
So there's not anything exactly like telephones on campus, right?
Not yet.
So, in that case, I'm assuming since it's a wizard's college, or we would have the equivalent of owls or ravens or something that can be sent between locations.
Yeah. I mean, like you can send a messenger pigeon of some kind.
Yeah. Then I'll do that and send it to her dorm and just be like, make it out to her studying for the test at the library with the rest of the group. You want to come join us?
Yeah.
Get coffee afterwards? ?
Yeah, she lives out of Witherbloom now, so that's going to take a minute. All right.
And then I'll actually put on there, if not, I can come to you.
Wink, wink.
XOXO, Alistair.
Well, I need to go out to Witherbloom anyway.
That's true. Right. Who's next? We got Meepo and Lavinia, yeah?
So,
and Tasha. How can we
by
all forget about Tasha?
by organizing everybody's notes that we've all taken throughout the semester chronologically, would I be able to make use of a sleight of hand roll to help organizing them into order?
Sure.
Pegboard with
All
red
right.
string and shit.
Exactly.
I mean, especially for Meepo, it's like
Oh,
We should have saved it for the test.
it's like make the world finally makes sense to Meepo as you
Right.
attune to this circlet, and like your hands just start moving at like warp speed, and like all of a
This is his
sudden,
beautiful mind moment.
yeah,
Where he
everything
just starts
makes
stacking
sense.
them based on colors, and then the attunement starts to click in, and as he's
It's-
just sorting them, he reaches the bottom of his pile, then he starts to sort that, and then starts sorting that, and then again and again and again.
It's like
Till
you
it's
just see the Matrix.
incredibly refined. Just like 5 pages left. He's like, yeah, I think if we can focus on these ones specifically, we're gonna have the best chance of knocking out what the professor's writing on this abjuration test for tomorrow.
Sin pulls over a chalkboard so you can start drawing out diagrams and pointing to all the things.
This is the closest thing to a math test, for real.
Oh, don't do that to me, Nick. I don't like.
I mean, that's kind of. I mean, welcome to Wizard School.
Every
Cool.
math test I've
So-
taken
so
has
does that
ended
mean-
in time.
Meepo, 2 re-rolls for you.
Yes!
Okay.
Meepo!
All right, Tasha and Luvinia.
I'm not sure exactly which skill this would use. Lavinia is more focused on the actual like making of the glyph because you actually have to inscribe it and stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of check would that be though? Would that be like a perception?
What kind of check
To-
do you want it to be?
Well, I have to make like a good argument for it, right?
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess perception because you have to actually perceive something to understand it because
Sure.
you can't really just do like wisdom checks, right?
I
there
think perception.
there
I'm
is a
fine
rule.
with.
There's also a rule for having a wisdom check of another ability that you might still have proficiency in. If you're using like your gut feeling, if you're trying to feel your way through it, it'd still be wisdom.
Yeah, you
But
can
you
do
can maybe do a
insight
wisdom
or
sleight of hand.
perception or whichever one you have proficiency in.
What I have proficiency in is survival. But
That's
I don't
rough,
think
buddy.
that really fits.
You're trying to survive college.
I mean, I guess you could say survival by observing how the glyph exactly protects the body, or I guess I could count towards medicine as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say that there's a lot of similarities between, say, like, tracking something in the forest and, like, tracing out something. I don't know. It's up to you.
I'll
What-
try with a survival check.
All right.
What is a body but a glyph of warding
Or
for the
oh, I
liquid
didn't
within?
make it. No.
This is a tough subject for our country, Bumpkin.
Is this a mechanically speaking, can bardic inspiration be used or inspiration type things be
No.
used on this check?
It could have ahead of time,
That's
but
good
it
to know.
wasn't.
I got guidance, damn it. Why I just switched my fighting style and I got guidance. I'll remember next time. I'll help you. Summer next time.
Unfortunately, Lavinia is having a hard time with this subject. All right, Tasha, how would you like to study for your glyph of warding test?
I cast guidance through the coffee to Tasha, so she gets a D4 to her roll.
Yeah, that's totally fine, Rachel.
So Tasha is spent the entire time just picking up every magic item in this room and just judging them. And then she finally finds a helm of telepathy,
Oh shit.
and her eyebrows go up. Oh. She's gonna pick the helm of telepathy.
That sounds like fun.
Just gonna listen in on Meepo's beautiful mind moment.
What do you think that the helm of telepathy that's available at the Strixhaven student store looks like?
Ray Bans.
Love it. Sunglasses.
Oh my god, Tasha sitting in the back kicking her feet up with the Ray-Bans on?
But yeah, she's I thought I read somewhere that artificers can attune to items really quickly. I don't know if I just made that up in my head, but
I
I've been
mean,
reading my
well,
fucking
you'll
character
have
sheet.
time while you guys are studying to attune to him.
Okay.
Yeah, I let Meepo do it too.
I think there is a subclass that allows quicker attunements. Or you can attune to multiple items within a short rest or some silly like that.
Sounds like fun.
What you might be thinking of is that artificers gain attunement slots at higher levels.
There's that
Yeah,
too.
you get more.
That's also dope. Did not know that.
And you
Now
can
you have
enhance
finally
items.
introduced
six,
something that I
actually.
find interesting about artificers.
At level 11, I can store spells into mundane items. So I was like, here's a rock with fireball on it. Bah. But I don't think I can cast fireball. But
Is Tasha going to study?
uh
Sin is dragging them into study. I give them coffee. You're not studying alone. Come with us.
so I'll get drug in with Sin. And how would Tasha study?
Look at your skills. Look what you're proficient with. Think about how you can apply that to studying for a glyph of warding test. And
Yeah,
this
but
is
it's
your
not so much.
opportunity to be narrative from Tasha's perspective.
Can I make a con save to try to keep my attention actually focused?
This makes me miss in D&D in days gone past. There used to be a skill called discipline.
That's a vibe check, Nick.
It is a vibe check.
Oh, by the way, just on a quick, the artificer thing you're thinking of, Jeremy, is the infuse an item. You can attune to an item if you have an infusion immediately. Otherwise,
Okay.
it follows normal attunement.
You know what?
Stuff.
You know what? I like this because there are no constitution skills, right? So I'm totally fine with this. So your constitution plus your proficiency in a D20.
That's a concentration check for like spellcasting, right?
Yeah, there you go. That is a concentration check. Lucas, inspiration for you.
Thank God I need it for the test.
God damn it, you're right. There is a fucking thing for concentration.
They have it in D&D.
And it's exactly what Jeremy suggested.
Jeremy, inspiration for you. That's a great one. And you get advantage because you were in a group. Also,
and a D4.
does your I don't think your class gives you proficiency with your constitution save, so we're also adding 2 for your proficiency, so 24.
24.
Easily
Nice.
blows it out of the water.
You're trying to concentrate on the beautiful mind
no,
moment.
it already. I
Oh,
don't
you
know
only
what
have
it does,
a
but-
+1 to your constitution?
Yeah, I only have a +1.
Oh, never mind then. I thought you had higher constitution
Oh,
than that for some
artificers.
reason.
Their
Okay, cool.
intelligence and constitution. Right?
22, still great. So Tasha, with Sin and watching Meepo and like kind of following along with what Meepo's doing kind of makes a lot of sense to you. It's like watching a computer almost, and you're able to actually concentrate and study for the test, and you get 1 reroll. So
Nice.
Luvenia's the only one who had a rough time studying.
I love how the misfits within the Cody Hall group somehow managed to group together over coffee, which is probably a terrible idea.
I love the idea of Meepo bouncing off the walls. Are you kidding me?
I know. It's a terribly good idea.
Like, Meepo's going to be up all night, beautiful minding.
He's gonna learn how to talk to frogs.
Your test is tomorrow. Is there anything anyone would like to do the night before the test?
Do you want to see Kieran's parents before or after the test? Oh, probably after. Never mind.
Okay.
After,
Alice,
maybe?
If the test is tomorrow, then yeah, probably after.
Okay. Alistair, did you want to go out to the Witherbloom campus tonight?
I guess it depends on what Aurora's response was.
You haven't received
how late
one
it is.
yet. She might be busy. She's a busy gal. You know that. So sometimes you don't get a response right
Okay.
away.
Then no, we got a test tomorrow. He'll just go back home or go back to the dorm and get some rest.
All right. Anyone else? If not, we're going to go to the test.
Sin will talk to Tasha a little bit after that weird arm shit that went on in the whatever that place was, the Ogremark, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so we're in our room blasting some music. So, what's up with your arm?
Subtle.
I know.
Jeremy,
Okay,
if you're talking,
wrong
we
tactic,
can't,
wrong
we-
tactic.
We can't hear you.
Look, you're not the only one that's got like some serious shit going on with them, and I want to make sure that you're not alone.
Jeremy?
Still getting the silent treatment.
Son of a bitch.
Ah, there he is.
Sorry. It's called transmutation.
Oh,
change-
that's similar to what I do.
It's changing the chemical components on a molecular level so it comes out as a new material. Man, I'm not as smart as Tasha. This sucks.
No, I understand what you're talking about completely. I change on a molecular level as well. Apparently, as you have seen, I can't fix legs, but I can fix just about anything else.
Yeah, you asking for someone just to break your legs isn't okay. You know that, right?
It was for science. Plus, she's a competent healer. I had full faith in her.
I think you worry too hard about trying to please everyone around you.
You're not wrong. So,
You said you died?
almost. I was teleported here shortly after I was hung from a tree. Don't quite know the timeline. I think I was still conscious when I transported magically in front of the school.
You were transported or transported yourself?
It was a little funny. I felt like everything was starting to get black around my vision as I was losing oxygen. And then it almost felt like the whole world blew by me very fast, but at the same time incredibly slow. And by the time I could catch my feet, or what I thought I was catching my feet on, I was on the smooth stone of the biblioplex just outside the campus. I thought I
you a
was dying and
planeswalker?
being transported to the outer planes or something.
Are you a planeswalker?
Sin looks real close at Tasha, kind of squints her eyes a little bit. I know of some. I don't think I am myself, but it's possible. I've been told that that's an ability they have.
Yeah, they have the ability to planeswalk. There are different planes of existence throughout this multiverse, and they have the ability to just wreak havoc in one and just go to the next one as much as possible.
Well, I didn't wreak any havoc, so that wasn't me. Where'd you come from?
Oh god, I'm spacing the name.
I got
Nick,
you.
help me.
I got you.
Kaladesh. I'm from the plane of
Kaladesh.
Kaladesh. It's not my home plane, though. But it's the one I grew up on.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm from the plane of Fiora, from the high city of Paliano.
I've never heard of that one. What's it like?
It's rather industrial. The particular district that I grew up in was very upper class, I guess. I never lived that way, but my father owned a business, and he tried to live the lifestyle of the people that were super rich.
Ah,
I'm just a salesperson.
oh, that oil you were telling me about?
Yeah, yeah. It would honestly probably do wonders for your transmutation stuff you got going on there. By the way, I personally don't think you need to hide it.
I
Because,
don't like my arm. I'm not hiding it. I just don't like looking at it.
oh, I'm, I'm sorry. Was it an accident that happened? Or like maybe a science experiment that went wrong?
A cruel turn of fate?
Oh, yep, that's going around for sure. She pulls down her scarf so you can see the the scar on her neck. Yeah, cruel turn of fate for sure.
When you transform, do you keep the scar?
No, no, it goes away, which is nice. But I've accepted at this point that it's part of me now. It's what I am.
So this is your true form then?
It
Yes?
is, yeah. I since coming here, I've tried to not, unless I have to, be other people. I'm trying to be myself. I only use other people if I'm really trying to get a point across. You saw Basalt. He's I met him while trying to sell my oils, and he's a rather nice guy, but he's stern. But he was extremely athletic, and he wielded a very big hammer. And he was strong and sturdy, but he was a nice guy. So I tried to emulate that. And so if you see me change, it's usually because I'm trying to emulate something that I don't inherently have myself. If that makes any kind of sense.
That makes a lot of sense. When I was a little girl, I used to go exploring old ruins with my father in the plane I was born in called Dominaria. He's an artificer. We used to love hunting old ruins and finding old artifacts and building them and trying to make them work again and then selling them. And then my home plane was invaded by these metallic life forms called Phyrexians. They they attacked like waves upon waves on our the little town we lived in. I lost my father, and right as the giant like metal dog beast went to bite my left arm, um, I saw in the distance it this giant blue orb originate from the big city that we neighbored. And as it just spread out and out and out and out, it enveloped us. And as the magic of that orb enveloped us, um, the entire city was, I think, teleported. That's what my master says would happen. I kind of blacked out as soon as the
Sus-
creature bit me
suspended.
and suspended. Actually, I don't know how much Sahili has told me about what happened.
The name of the city is Zalfir, for the record.
Zalfir, thank you. And when that happened, my spark ignited, and I turned the creature that I was being teleported with into my arm. So,
And that's why you don't like it, because that's a creature that killed your father.
yes. And it's also it's Phyrexis. And honestly, they're going to consume the multiverse if we don't stop them. That's what I've been researching. And she's gonna like walk over to her workshop and like hit a button, and there's gonna just like this giant kind of chalkboard is gonna like appear out of nowhere and fold out. And it just looks like a giant conspiracy theory, like Charlie Kelly with Pepe Silva. And it's just different planes and like every bit of reading she's done for the past 7 years of her life has been studying pyrexia. I'm gonna figure out how to stop them.
Yeah, Sin will walk over and put a hand on Tasha's shoulder, looking, kind of leaning over the shoulder to look at what Tasha's looking at. Hey, I know we've just met, but I think we did really well together. I don't want you to go at this alone, so I would really like to help you. And this is not just a me trying to please thing. I think you and I, weirdly enough, share a very similar experience. And I don't want you to be alone. You shouldn't be. And if these Phyrexians are as bad as you say they are, you need some help. So I want to help.
Thank you.
Nick, I'd like to try to detect surface thoughts on Tasha.
Yeah, I don't even think you have to.
I'm going to spark it up a little bit.
I don't even think they have to make a roll for that, right?
No, digging deeper is a roll.
Yeah.
Um,
What are Tasha's surface thoughts?
This is new for her. She really doesn't open up much, but seeing Sin's neck reminded her, well, her neck and her arm. Um, she's remorseful, but you get weird images of this. Nick, do you have a picture of Sahili?
Yeah. One sec. I think I have a
Um,
good picture of Sealy.
this smiling woman telling you, and remember, when you get to college, make sure to make friends, because that'll help as well. Don't just focus on research as much.
And Zahili is your instructor, master, mentor.
Yeah. I keep wanting to say sensei, and I'm just like, you're a stupid little weeb. That's not what it is.
She's my senpai.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Nope.
In any case, Sin sees that, and whether Tasha likes it or not.
Hold on, should I get the anime one that she has? No, I won't. I'll get one of the good ones.
Sin is going to turn Tasha around and give her a big hug and say, "You've got a friend in me. Don't worry."
She's gonna do that awkward hug thing where she kind of just reaches up and pats with both hands on your back.
Okay. Well,
She's-
good night.
This is the most Tasha hugs, and this is a good hug.
Yep.
Also,
100%.
Nick, did you see my whisper?
Yes,
On roll
I'm
20.
just getting this picture, so that's why I haven't responded.
Okay.
But yeah. So I, I I'm not just out to please. If you by chance need cells for experimentation to get rid of that arm and get a real arm, just let me know. I'm willing to donate for science.
Oh, that's okay. I just experiment on the arm. I can't destroy it.
Now that's really weird.
I, you heard me grinding away on it the other night with this new recipe of
Oh, that's what I thought you were creating music.
No, there was this. I found a dwarven recipe to make fire 10 times hotter, and I thought maybe I could reach its melting point, but I can't.
Oh. Would it help if it was covered up, or is it just the fact that it's attached makes it worse?
Like, covering it up does help, and plus I don't have people asking questions. And also some people recognize the metal.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I know a thing or two
Nobody
about
on
metal.
this plane that you have encountered has.
Well, I haven't really shown it on this plane.
That's true.
No, just once. I know a thing or two about metal, and maybe we can find a way to work around this thing for now.
Oh, there's my mentor.
Oh, she's very beautiful. Oh wait, I don't say that. But I see that image, and I note it for later.
Oh no.
What?
Just in case. I have to convince Tasha to do something.
I need both of you to make wisdom saving throws, please.
Oh, shit.
That's always good.
Always fun.
Right?
15.
Only
for
good
Sin.
things to come out of it.
Uh, 19, that's going to be a success.
15 for Sin.
15 is going to be a failure.
Story of my life. Do I get smoten?
There's some smiting going on.
Uh,
Always smitten.
Lucas, I need you to join me in the outside, please.
Oh, yes.
Oh, what the fuck?
All
Hello.
right. So, Lucas, as you are probing Tasha's mind, you feel somebody probing your mind using the same exact spell. However, since you failed your wisdom saving throw, this person, whoever it is, gains insight into your reasoning, if any, for what you're doing, your emotional state, and something that looms large in your mind.
Ooh, okay. The reasoning behind searching is genuinely trying to help. She shares a bond and doesn't want to see Tasha uncomfortable. So there's the general reasoning. What was the second one?
It's your emotional state.
Oh, my emotional state.
Because you did just learn a whole lot bunch of shit.
Yeah, I learned a lot of shit.
And it's a whole lot of shit that a certain somebody would want to know.
Yeah, old
So,
Luca McGee.
how would you be feeling right now?
excited.
And is that what looms large in your mind?
Yes. Because he told me to let him know if I discover anybody else with a spark.
I believe those were his exact words.
And her first thought is, Oh, I've got to let him know that this person's got strange metal. This is incredible. They can assimilate things. They're like me. I've got to let Luca know. So that's the deepest thing on Sin's heart right now.
Okay. And then you also do know that somebody just read your mind. I believe that is part of the spell as well, right?
Yeah, I do know, but I don't think I know the source.
Yeah. Okay,
Let me
perfect.
double check.
So yeah,
double check.
you know
I put it on my thing.
somebody just probed your mind. You don't know who, but you know it happened. So, let's go back.
All right.
Manage feats. You should be able to add one on there.
All right.
Okay.
And we are back. Okay. So that happened. Continue.
Well, I gotta use the restroom. I don't want to keep you up, so go ahead and just get some sleep.
Oh, wait, before you go, I saw you were looking at those gauntlets in the store. I actually made one for a project, and she's gonna pull out. They look like hand wraps, like boxers would put on underneath their boxing gloves,
Oh,
and she's gonna give you a set of ogre gauntlets, or gauntlets of ogre strength.
oh, you didn't have to do that, Tasha.
It's okay. I appreciate you.
And I appreciate you. Thank you so much. She will take the wraps and quietly close the door. And she's going to stealth her way to the outside to get some fresh air.
Sure. Roll me a stealth check.
All right. I'm going to try my opalite die. I got a good stealth. 12.
12. Is anyone paying attention?
I have to go past the druid's room.
So, Tasha wouldn't have noticed anything going on with Sin. I know this sounds odd. Would my character known? I know it's like a save, but would she have known anything went off?
Yeah, no, you know that your thoughts were probed, is how the spell works.
But that was by Sin, right?
Uh-huh.
Or you can assume it was. Because I didn't probe, but somebody else probed.
Well, Tasha made
far
her
as we know.
save on
You
that
didn't
one.
say that.
I didn't say
Neither of you said anything.
I looked at my own mind. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, it says, either way, the target knows that you are probing into its mind unless you shift your attention to another creature's thoughts. So, yeah, you do know that that happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Sin. She was-
Make me a stealth check. Kieran, you hear the door opening from down the hall, and I don't know how traumatized you are and how hyper vigilant you are, but
I would like to scratch that a little. I think as Sin is walking past, trying to tiptoe, Kieran is getting her beauty sleep, and suddenly she gets up. She gets up and she goes, "My slut alarm!" No, hold on.
what?
Oh my god. My slut alarm is going up. Someone's being slutty today. I need to know who's doing that. I need to congratulate them. Fellow sluts gotta stick together.
You peek open your door and you see Sin going down the stairs.
Oh, good for her. I mean, good for them. Good for them. They needed that. They really did. Good for them.
And then,
Tasha.
yeah, then oh, absolutely, because that's the disadvantage roll, I'm pretty sure, from Tasha.
Yep.
So, yeah, you absolutely hear Tasha coming out the door next, and like kind of like looking down the stairs as you hear the door downstairs closing.
If Tasha makes eye contact with her,
So pretty much
Kieran,
everyone hears Tasha except for Sin, is what I'm saying.
Kieran is going to look at the direction of where Sin is, completely misinterpret what's going on, look at Tasha, give her the thumbs up, and close her door. No, and she'll mouth them. Oh, be careful. Be careful. There's some poison ivy down the way, so avoid that bush. Believe me, I've heard stories of things getting into cracks, so be careful of that. And she'll close the door and go back to bed. Kieran's got a slot alarm, just to let you guys know.
One of my girls be being crazy. Anyone
So
else?
waking up in the
Right,
middle of
right.
the night sets off the slut alarm.
The slut
It
alarm.
does. Yeah. Well, if someone's sneaking out, like,
That's good tea. Anyone else care about Tasha making a bunch of noise?
Alistair's used to it. He's going to get some last minute studying in and then go to sleep.
All right. Sin, where are you going once you leave Cody Hall?
I think she is just gonna dip out into the wood line just outside of Cody Hall and just try to find a quiet place to just sit and I think she's having or they're having a panic attack at the moment. This is the first time that somebody's just probed into her mind, and she's used to having different people going through her mind, but this is the first time it's been an active thing, and it's overstimulated her, so she's woozy and got this throbbing pain in her head, and she probably throws up once she stops where she's going.
All right. So Tasha, I think that means that Sin's fairly easy to follow. Not particularly hiding that trail once you get outside. So yeah, Tasha, you do find Sin eventually just kind of bent over, dry heaving a little bit.
I'm gonna walk up and slowly reach into my bag and pull out a canteen. Walk up and tap her on the back and here, drink water.
Sin turns to you and just looks wild and scared. Reaches for her throat, their throat, subconsciously. Oh, thank you. They'll take a drink. Hands it back. Sorry, something came over me. Normally I can separate out people, but it felt like somebody else was there, not myself. And it threw me for a loop.
Someone, like when you read my thoughts?
Is that what I did? I thought I was just being empathic. I thought I was just getting vibes off you. Is that what I did to you?
Yes, I felt you. I guess the best word is that I felt you brush against my essence.
Oh, God, I've been doing that to a lot of people. I am so sorry.
You're okay, you're not the first one to do. That's... It's something you need to become more aware of. But it's also a useful tool to have.
I suppose so. Doesn't feel right, though.
Well, it's not.
I guess
But-
it's maybe similar to your arm.
Life isn't about right and wrong. Life's about surviving.
It is about surviving, that's true. Well, why don't we go back inside? We got a big test tomorrow.
Tasha's gonna wrap her arm within your arm, like her friend Zeely used to do. But she hasn't seen her. It's been busy. And walk you back to Cody Hall.
And we walk back.
All right. Is there anything anyone else would like to do before your test?
Give Sin and Tasha high fives when we're eating breakfast, but besides that, that's it.
Sin does not give you a high five.
Okay.
I'll high five you.
When you go to high five, they go to high five as well, but pull their hand back before they connect and tuck it back close.
Okay, there's nothing in girl code about not receiving a high five, but okay. Duly noted.
No, it's nothing like that, Karen. I realize that I have subconsciously been tapping into people's essence, as Tasha said, and I don't want to trigger it accidentally.
Oh God, have you been vibing with people without their consent? That's wrong.
I haven't been I without my own consent.
Oh God, that's terrible.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
It's fucking weird.
Anyway, do you want to get a high five or what? I mean, come on, full consent. Just high five me.
High
Do it.
five.
Let's do it.
What are
Listen, you can
Kieran's?
high five after breakfast. Everyone's eggs are getting cold.
This is Meepo.
Oh my God, he's
What
smart.
the hell?
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Everyone eat up.
Oh, his
It's-
knowledge, his brain.
You know, he's
is
absolutely
growing.
right.
He's standing up a little straighter.
Does anyone
My
need to go
intelligence
over?
score just increased by 10.
Oh my god.
So you're literally
He's
twice
standing
as smart.
He's half a foot taller.
Went from 9 to 19.
Does
Meepo's
anyone else need to like go over the symbols one more time just to be extra sure before the test?
No, definitely, I need to go over that.
Sin
Lavinia, how
will
are
draw
you
the
feeling
symbols
about
in their
this?
porridge.
I think Luvinia's BRB.
She is.
Somebody go wake her up. She's not missing this exam.
Zilly comes down and says, she's not feeling very well. Let her sleep.
God, I hope she's going to be able to pass
Oh,
this test.
shit.
God, we need to pass this test. I need to pass this test in order to get a job and not, be a
You
fucking
can't
idiot.
you can't leave a girl by themselves in the bathroom.
Oh God, no, she's in her bedroom, right?
Yes, she's in her
That's-
bedroom.
If she's sick in her bedroom, God, what about the sheets?
Zilly goes over to Meepo and she says, good morning, Meepo. Sergeant Hops is doing well this morning. Did you want to check on him?
I appreciate it, Celia. I'm afraid I don't have time this morning. What with everything that's going on and everything that seems to be quickly falling apart and unraveling before us. So, everybody, go ahead and get what you need, and I will meet you in the classroom. I'll make sure that Lavinia is following too shortly behind us.
She's just
Nobody
like
leaves a girl behind.
she's just like standing there with her her mouth that literally does the jaw dropping thing, and her mouth is just like hanging open.
Tosha, it appears that our little Meepo has gotten very intelligent all of a sudden. So, there's that, though. Oh, she's back.
Oh, well, good morning, sleepyhead.
Sorry, what was that?
Good morning.
You are
Well,
sleepy.
Lavinia, we managed to save you a few slices of bacon left, but I'm afraid the eggs have already gotten cold.
That's Meepo.
Meepo's smart.
When did
I can
when did
warm
that
them up for you
happen?
if you like.
I think, pointing at the little circlet over his head, I think it happened last night.
Oh, Oh, I can reheat it up myself. Thank you, Alistair. Interesting. Not what I expected to wake up to.
We were just talking about everyone's confidence about the upcoming exam. How do you feel about your study notes, Lavinia?
Like on a scale of 1 to 10?
Sure.
1.
Hey, you know what? You got
We can
this.
go over it again if you'd like.
I'll just let fate take a chance on this one.
You sure? We still got a couple of hours. Maybe I can review a few of my notes with you while we walk.
If you all want, you can let me know, and I can. So as a bonus action with Helm, telepathy. God damn it,
Helm of
Telepathy?
telepathy.
Thank you. I can use a bonus action to actually speak to them. So, if you need
Cheater.
help with any, yes, no. Tasha's saying if you need help, Tasha can help you cheat.
We needed a cheater all along.
There is no right and wrong. There's only survival.
Ain't that right,
I
Lovely
Meepo?
attitude, Tasha.
I don't quite agree with that, but I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Look, I'm already on thin ice right over here. The last thing I need to do is someone to point at me and tell me that I'm cheating, so I'm failing or succeeding on this by myself. Yep, because I'll definitely.
Amen to that. And Lavinia will hold her hand out for like a fist bump.
She'll do Kieran will do the fist bump and then just kind of stare off into space. Oh God, I'm getting nervous.
I don't know what's wrong with them, but I'll give you the signal if I need some help.
Okay.
We're sitting next to each other. So if I go to fail, I'm going to you for help.
As you're all sitting around, talking about this, Kenrith comes down the stairs, and Sin, you can see that he's kind of just giving you a little bit of a more attention, like, he's just kind of giving you a side eye, but it's definitely more attention than he usually gives you.
Look directly at him, at his eyes, give a big smile, and just nod my head up. What's up, Will?
Good morning, Sin.
How you doing?
My slutty senses are tingling.
I'm doing fine, thank
Maybe
you.
you should get that checked, Kieran.
Hopefully, I didn't mean to wake anybody up, so if I woke you up, I apologize. I think I had too much coffee last night. Made me real sick.
No, I definitely think that the noise is Tasha's fault, not yours.
Oh. Okay. So...
He just pours himself some coffee and then goes back upstairs.
Catch
Well,
you later, Will.
I don't think Will likes me as a dormy.
No, Will's just always kind of like that.
Oh, is he? Oh.
I mean, it is a little loud, but it's definitely
You
not
could
like
say
a
he's a little cold.
He's an ice mage.
He's also
preferred Cody Hall
responsible
out of
for making
empty.
sure that we follow the rules of the university, and he probably overheard you talking about cheating during the test. I'm just saying.
Alistair,
That
such
would
a
mean that he's
brown
probing our
nose.
mind against our will.
I don't think Will gives a fuck about how we do on our test, honestly.
Sin's gonna scratch out something on paper, get up, and then put it on the next to Lavinia's napkin.
Hmm?
I'm scratching you a note. I'm gonna whisper it to you.
Okay.
Lucas.
So is there
Heroes.
anything anyone else would like to do before the test?
So Jeremy the player is going to remind Lucas the player that me and you have a point of inspiration if all goes wrong.
It's true.
Yes. I'm rocking right with Lavinia. I'm rocking a +1 to these things, so I need all the help I can get.
No, I'm gonna put a dice on my mouse so it reminds me.
All right. Well, here we are. The scrivening and symbology test for the glyph of warding. I'm gonna get my stat blocks here for everybody, for your peers. So everyone comes and sits down. Professor Blackstone announces the test and tells you all what you will be doing. So let me pull up what you will be doing. All right, so on today's test, you will be identifying the shapes commonly used when a mage casts a glyph of warding, requiring a successful investigation check. And you will also be writing an essay on common magical effects and triggers associated with the glyph of warding, and that requires a successful arcana check. You each have your re-rolls. We are going to start in the back with Cataris Demoir. So let me grab Yeo Quandrix and make some rolls for him. Nope, that didn't roll the dice. Roll the die, please.
And what is the DC of this particular test?
Did I tell you the DCs on the last tests?
I think so.
Yes.
It is 15.
Ooh. Oh, God, I have
Cataris.
to roll a 14.
Cataris aced this test. All right. Next up is a Rosie. Rosie is going to roll.
Oh, this is fucking, like, listening to this in YouTube is one thing, but sitting here just waiting for my turn, like, I really hope I don't fuck this up. This is scary.
Right?
I wasn't
All right.
expecting this.
The whole
Rosie.
class knows if you passed or failed. immediately.
Rosie aced her test. Meepo. Oh wow,
So
we're just
Meepo-
gonna go PCs in a row here, aren't we?
Meepo would
Yep.
like to start with a flashback to like right before the teacher was walking in, our study group at the back of the classroom going over a few crib sheets, and he'd like to spend all 4 of his bardic inspirations. And so he's going to give 1 to Lavinia, 1 to Kieran, 1 to Tasha, and I think Sin needs it more than Alistair.
Yeah, I think Alex would be
Yeah.
fine.
D6, right?
Yeah, so you guys can add a d6 to 1 ability check. So 1 of your test rolls.
All right, totally allowed. All right, Meepo.
All right.
First up
Here we
is
go.
investigation.
Investigation.
Come on, smart Beepo.
16.
Oh, you got it.
You're good. Next
No
up
problem.
is an Arcana check, please.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
God.
Glyph of warding.
no re-rolls necessary. Meepo aces the test. All right. I can go down towards Grayson, or I can go over to Sin. What do you guys want to do?
I just
Let's
want to
do
get it
it.
over with.
Yeah.
Sin, make me an
All right.
investigation check, please.
Investigation check. Here we go. Shit. All right.
Would you
I
like
can't-
to use your re-roll?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my reroll on that. That was a 2.
All right. Go ahead and re-roll.
All right, here we go. Yeah. All right. So that's I'm at a 13. I'm gonna add my D4 of guidance to this.
You also got the D6, right?
Yep. I'm gonna save that for my second one. I got a 16 total for my investigation.
All right. That means you're able to pass that part. Go ahead and do your Arcana check.
All right. Single roll. Potentially needing to cheat and or inspiration. Here we go. Yeah. Natural 20.
All right.
Yeah.
Sin aces the
Ace it
test.
again.
All right, Kieran. Redemption time.
Okay. Kieran's going to take a deep breath.
All right.
Look at the thing. What do I have to roll?
Investigation.
She's going to look at it, and she's going to read it, and it is going to be...
Oh yeah.
She knows exactly what she's doing.
All right.
She
All
knows
right.
exactly what she's
Come on,
doing.
Kieran.
Okay.
All right. And then the next check is going to be your Arcana check.
Nice.
Kieran
Doing
aces the
good.
test.
I would like to re-roll.
Go
See if
for
I
it.
get Natural 20.
Kieran
Ah.
still aces the test. Oh wait, no. Do you have to keep the reroll? Wait, what are the rules on rerolls? Hold on, I want to look.
No,
I'm pretty
I
sure you
didn't
have to
know.
keep it.
No.
She would never
You
roll if
erased the
she'd
first
known that.
answer.
Yeah. That was hidden knowledge.
I love the idea of her having the right answer the first time, erasing it, and putting the wrong answer.
Being so
Yeah.
concerned about not having it,
Or-
she changes it.
Yeah, for the re-roll, you roll a d20 and then you use the new roll.
I didn't know. I forgot. Oh, fuck.
What do you think, y'all? Do we let her take it back?
Yeah, she was rolling specifically to get a natural 20, not to pass.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you take it back. You ace the test.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
It's
Erase it,
redemption
that
for
goes with her
It's
original
redemption
answer.
for failing your last test.
She aces it, right?
Yeah, you passed both sections, which means you aced it.
Oh my god, thank god.
All right, Tasha. All right, investigation is no sweat. And then make me an Arcana check, please. Tasha, once again, tests are no problem for you.
And I had the D6.
There you go. The studying, you note that the studying did help a little bit.
It did. I tend to zone out.
All right. Next up, we have, oh, buddy, Xanther Bowen. Let's see. He's going to re-roll that. Oh, no, Xanther. Let's see. Well, Xanther failed. All right. That's the first test he's failed. That's rough, buddy. That's got plot implications.
Plot
Oh
change.
no.
Can't play on the Mage Tower team if you fail
Oh, that's
your
right.
grades. All right. Quintilius is up. And he is yep, is the same on this one. Okay. Mr. Quintilius is going to re-roll that. All right, he's good on that. Quint aces the test. Who's next in line? Grayson. It is a silver quill. All right, he's going to roll. This test was not easy for everyone else either.
That's because they didn't study as hard as we do. We have a lot to prove.
But Grayson aces the test. All right, who's up next? Melwithorn. He's going to re-roll that. All right. Melwithorn aces the test. Who's up next? Shuvadri. This is interesting. This is what I like rolling for each of the NPCs because it matters. All right, Shuvadri is gonna re-roll that. All right, Shuvadri passes. Lavinia.
All right. Huh. So we start with investigation, right?
Investigation, yes indeed. All right. Yes. All right.
Oh.
At a minimum, you pass. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
16.
Lavinia, by the grace of the gods, you ace this test. Not just pass it, you ace it.
Yes.
All right, who's up next? We've got Greta. All right, Greta is going to... Oh, she's going to re-roll that. All right. And then she's going to roll an Arcana. All right, Greta aces the test. Redemption for her failing on her last test. Alistair, are you back?
Yep,
Yes,
I'm
you
here.
are. Perfect. And you are definitely up. Investigation check from you, please.
Not an advantage.
No.
Nice.
Yeah.
21 is going to be high enough. Perfect. And then an Arcana check, please.
Right.
Would you like to re-roll that?
I believe I would.
All right, go ahead. All right.
Yeah.
Much more on brand. Alistair aces the test. All right. Aurora is up. All right. She's going to roll. She's going to re-roll that. Well, she's going to make her Arcana check. Oh, Aurora failed.
No.
Oh, that's got plot implications. Wow, some real key NPCs failing here. All right, Rubina
Real
is
quick.
what's up?
I have a question. I'm looking at my notes from last time, and the last year from Magical Physiologies, we got 2 student dice, one of which was Arcana, if you aced the test.
I believe the student dice, do they
They
reset?
they don't carry over into the next year.
At the end of each
Uh.
academic year, you lose any student dice their characters have earned from an exam.
Okay.
Sorry. Nice
I
try,
was hoping
though.
she could use her student dice to get that little extra.
I will. I'm gonna break it to you, Ben. It wouldn't have mattered. She got. So the first was a 9, and she re-rolled into a 4, and then she got a 3 on her Arcana.
Oh.
So Aurora bombed this test. All right. Rubina is up, and she's going to make her investigation and her Arcana. She's going to re-roll that. Rubina passes. Lorene is up. I have a feeling she's going to do well. Yep. And Rubina aces the test. Or Lorene does, I mean. Excuse me. So only 2 people failed. There are our key NPCs, Xanther Bowen and Aurora Winterstar. Okay, so of the PCs, who aced the test? It was Alistair,
Lavinia did.
Lavinia, Meepo. Did Sin ace the test? Yes, right? Yeah, I think I remember Lucas. Yeah. Okay. And then Tasha did. Did you all ace
Wait.
the test?
Wait,
I think so, yes.
Yeah, and then Kieran did too.
there's
So happy.
there's maybe one more possibility here for Aurora to not completely bomb the test.
Other than cheating?
Other than cheating, when a character has a beloved, the character gains beloved inspiration at the end of each long rest.
Go on. I had not read that rule. That's why I put these rules in there, is for y'all to read them. Continue.
So it functions like regular inspiration, and I think regular inspiration gives you a reroll.
I'm going to go back. All right, I'm going to re-roll one of these for her. Now, the hard part is she only has a +1 on this roll. So we're going to...
Understood, but
I mean, Lavinia was able to do it.
Nope. She got a 6.
she just didn't study, did she?
She did. She had a re-roll. She just didn't study very well.
Who's the country bumpkins now?
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Thinking a little too much about the music. maybe sitting next to Alistair is a distraction. Who knows what this is going to do to the plot?
True. She did sit next to Melbathor last year.
Just saying. All right. Okay, that is the end of the testing phase. So everyone who aced the test, which is everyone, will now get a student die on investigation and arcana.
Hooray!
Yes. And Professor Blackstone does approach I'm gonna say Alistair after the test. And he says, very good job on your test today, Alistair, Mr. Crawley. How little bird told me that you were asking around the library for access to the oh my brain just went
script-
A
blank.
Scriptoria.
Scriptoria collection. Wow. You were asking for access to the Scriptoria collection. I was wondering what little research were you and your friends doing?
Oh, well, Professor, we found something interesting during the contest in the crap. What was the wild place?
Huh? Wiltroot Hall?
Wilfred Hall.
Wilford Hall. Yeah. We found something interesting during the contest at Wilford Hall, and it reminded me of something that I remember hearing about once before. I just wanted to do a little more looking into it. It seems to be some sort of insect carapace or something of the like. Couldn't seem to find anything in the normal collections, at least not that seemed to really fit. And we were hoping we'd be able to find a little more information.
That is interesting. You students have impressed me. Or else, I wouldn't ask for this favor, but I've been guest lecturing in Colema Hall on Lorehold's campus this term. And the administrators, they love my popular series on scriptology and archaeomancy, but it's eating into my prep time for my classes. So I can give you permission to go down to the Biblioplex's Scriptoria collections, and I need you to track down a tome for me. It might take you a while. That's why, I'm asking you as an excellent student to do this for me. It's an ancient treatise on interpreting auguries called Weal or Woe, an interpretive sketch by director Ulrich Quenthorne. Trouble is, no one knows where the book is hiding, since they don't really catalog the books down there, and I can't prepare your upcoming exam without it either. So find it and bring it to me, and extra credit for the rest of the term is yours.
Oh, excellent, Professor. I that's greatly appreciated. Of course, I'd be happy to bring that. The librarians will let us check them out and bring them from the collection.
Oh, no.
Then, Professor Halm, I just need to find it and tell you where it is. Then.
Oh, no, I would like you to bring it to me.
But you just said the librarians wouldn't let us check them out.
I don't. What? If it's not cataloged, who's gonna know it went missing, Alistair? Happens all the time.
Oh, oh, I
But,
see.
don't get caught walking out of the bibliopex with a book. And he's gonna turn around and walk away from you. But he is gonna write down permission for you to be able to go get the book.
Alistair is going to like take the little permission slip and sort of puzzledly walk back and sit at his desk.
When you sit down, Aurora looks distraught.
Oh, are you okay, Aurora?
No, I failed so hard, Alistair.
Oh no.
This is the worst I've done on any test since I've been in school.
Oh, that's
I'm not going to be able to go to my
awful.
job. I'm not going to be able to go to show band.
no. I mean,
I don't.
it's
don't-
just one test.
I know, but I can't do any of those things once you fail, and I have to go to study hall now, which means I'm not going to be able to hang out with you as much. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, look, I'll do whatever I can to help you out. You know that.
I know. It's just I feel like this is something that I have to do for myself. I just I'm so disappointed.
What was it? It was a really hard test.
And I got home late, so I didn't get your message about studying. So who knows?
No, I know it's a long way from the dorm back onto campus to the bibliotech. I know. Look, once you find out what your study hall schedule looks like, we'll figure it. Like, I mean, I'll help however I can, obviously. And, if you just need me to bring like coffee by every once in a while, or we can still try to study some. I was just it does. I mean, it really is. It sucks that just you miss one test and they force you into that.
School policy.
don't worry,
What can you do?
I'm sure you'll still have time to practice, though.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. And she like packs up her stuff and heads on out.
Yeah. And he just lets her go. He has not really anything he can say at this point.
Yeah. Xanther kind of leans over his desk towards you, Lavinia, and he says, "Well, guess I will have time to coach your team."
What do you mean?
Oh, I failed, so that means
Oh.
no mage tower for me until I pass my next test.
Well, I'll help you study on the next one.
Awesome. And I'll help. I'll
And
help you guys
yeah, you can help us
practice.
with the Mage Tower. Yeah.
Yeah. They can't tell me no. Oh god, my team's gonna be pissed.
If it's any like consolation, I thought I was totally gonna bomb this, and I took terrible notes, but I passed.
Yeah, I'll get the next one. Sometimes you drop the ball. It happens. You drop the mascot. Coach is gonna be pissed though. I hope the Prismari team doesn't suffer because of this. Oh, I should have studied harder, I guess. Well, I'm gonna go break the news to Coach. I'll see you later, Vince. I'll let you know when practice is.
Okay. I'll talk to everybody else too, and we can like figure something out.
All right, sounds good. And he's gonna go. You are getting to know Xanther pretty well at this point, and you know that he tries to stay positive about things. He's pretty upset. But he's trying to, not project that to anybody.
Actually, as he's like leaving, she'll stop him. She'll just be like, "Hey, I'm a little busy this afternoon, but do you want to go get drinks sometime or something? Just hang out?"
Uh, yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be good. Thanks.
Sin will be like right behind Xanther, giving the thumbs up to Lavinia.
Quint's just kind of like looking over his shoulder at Tasha. Is there anything else?
Grab his attention, and I just do the fingers to my eyes, and I'm looking at Quintilius too. Don't fuck up.
Well, the next thing on my agenda is downtime. So, how would you all like to spend your downtime?
And
Um,
Karen, is it her present appearance?
Oh yeah, we have. You still want to do that?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah,
Do you need more support?
Yeah. And kind of gauging like how much they love her and how disappointed they are if they give her that pass. I know we have it, but
your
having
parents
to
will
would be great.
always love you.
Aw, but how disappointed
But they
are
will be
they?
very disappointed in you.
I know.
If you show initiative, it might get on their good side.
She is. That's why she's visiting their house, which is, they live nearby campus, right?
They live on the Lorehold campus, which I don't think I've shown you a picture of. So let me make a little quick.
Yeah, have we been there? I think the two of us were supposed to go there. At some point.
Like if you've had classes there, you've been there.
we haven't been
Kieran has
to
obviously been there. But let me put. I haven't made a slide for Lorehold's campus. Let me make one real quick. There's a great picture for it.
Problem is the initiative.
Yeah, if you could apply that to anything else, you'd go very far.
That has been Professor Onyx's message to young Kieran.
Oh yeah, and she'll send before she goes, she'll send a note along with the test I passed. Can I have a job? Except more like a professional.
Okay.
You send a nice little note that says, "I appreciate your influence. You can see that the extra studies really paid off, and I think I'm ready to take on an after-hours job now."
Yeah, so Alistair helped her out with that. So yeah, definitely. She totally
There you go. And this is what the Lorehold campus looks like.
Yeah, this is my jam.
Kind of like Mad Max style.
Yeah, and
I guess
there's
any abandoned
there
desert.
are buildings that are built into the cliff face and things like that. Yeah.
Just faces everywhere.
Yeah, this is the Lorehold campus. But yeah, you do go in, and your parents are both home at this point. Your father is like, Kieran, smashing! Good to see you.
Oh, of course. Everyone, take off your shoes. Take off your shoes. We're very clean in this house. Take off your shoes. How are you doing? It's so nice to see you, Dad.
How is my baby?
Oh, great.
What?
Great. No, sorry. My mic cut off for a minute. No, of course. I'm doing fantastic. Actually, I aced a test, so that's good. I'm in the What are we in right now?
Scrivening in symbology.
No. The games. We're in the games.
The battle for Strixhaven.
Mage Tower.
In the battle for Strixhaven. I'm
Battle
sorry,
for
I need
Mage
to- I
Haven
need to
Strix.
actually write down some notes. We're in the battle mage
Battle
Mage
for
Tower?
Strixhaven.
battle
Yes.
for Strixhaven. When we're in
Yes,
the battle
that's
for
exactly
Strixhaven,
She's
confused.
really
Rachel.
very excited about it.
we're in the battle for Strixhaven, you know, so we made it past there, and you know, of course, you know, the thing with Chad, and everything's going great, you know? And she'll give a big smile and a hug with that last part.
Yeah, your dad's very excited to see you. Your mom, her smile kind of goes away when you mention Chad.
Oh, yeah. Look, you know, I also brought my friends here because, you know, they're such a great influence on me, you know, because I don't. They all aced their tests, and I think Alistair's here. And you remember how much you liked Alistair last time, you know? Like, I make some really good friends, and, you know, I meet some really good people.
Your mom says, you know, it's lovely to see you all again. Can I get anyone something to drink?
Well, there's no need for that. It is very kind of you to offer, though. And it is nice to see you again.
Tell me, is my daughter really doing as well as she claims?
She actually is. She did in fact ace this last test. It was a tough one. Not everyone did. Now that's where it gets kind of sad.
In fact, if it wasn't for the specific note taking that she took during the explosive runes lecture, I don't think any of us would have made it through that the essay portion of that examination.
You get a hard, like, the Rock's eyebrow from, Kieran's mom as when you start speaking, and she's like, really?
No, and you know, and Karen is
She's like,
very.
hold on. You seem different.
Well, I think your daughter's helped to enlighten my view on the whole abjuration school a little bit, given me a new sort of outlook on everything. It's really sort of boiled it all down to almost basic comprehension, really.
My daughter helped you do that, Kieran.
Of course, yeah. You know, actually, I did have some help as well. You know, with him.
Kieran, I thought you said that she was a doctor.
Hey, Meepo. I just want you to know that that's one of the bad things that happened the other day. We don't discuss that. I am not adopted.
I didn't make him wise. He's very intelligent, but he's not very wise.
Meepo, you see that the doctor's hands wave, and there's a purplish like film that spreads across her eyeballs, and then you see her chuckle, and she goes, "Ah, I understand."
So, Lavinia, this is getting awkward. Anyway, Lavinia, do you have anything to, you know, say, like how I helped Meepo, or you know, anyone else helping the dog, you know?
I mean, as I was trying to say before, is Karen is actually very inspiring when it comes to many things.
Oh, so
As it,
inspiring.
you know,
Kieran,
which I think sometimes is a bit more.
What is the purpose of bringing all of your friends here?
Oh, you know, just well, we have a couple of favors, you know, and Lavinia, what were you going to say about what sophomore? Like what?
No, that's okay. I think I'm done speaking now. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I think this is some sort of a lesson that you're teaching me because the other day, right?
So what you're saying is you need something, and that's why you've come to see us. Your
No,
mother
actually-
folds her arms.
No, hell, no. I kind of just a little bit. I just wanted to, you know, come up and check on you, and you know, ask if you want to have dinner, in like a day or two.
That depends. Is that Chad boy going to come again? And your dad kind of
strongly advise against it.
your dad like stands up and he's like, "Now, dear, you said that you were going to," and she kind of like looks at him and he's like, never mind."
Okay. Look, did he ruin that expensive dress that you were wearing? Yes. But that was only because he was trying to impress Dad when he was doing that, like a giants at a golf course joke. And yes, he didn't laugh when the pun was when the punchline came in, and he was really trying his hardest. Anyway, we also kind of need a permission slip for the scribs. God damn it.
Scriptoria collection.
I did the same
Yep.
thing. You're good.
The Scriptoria
The big
collection.
SC.
The Scriptoria collection, because we need to do a bit of studying, because Alistair really needs it, and we just need to cover all our bases, to get some of the books and study a little bit, and also asking if you want to have dinner.
Why do you need access to the Scriptoria collection?
Alistair?
Well, while we were at Wiltroot Hall, participating in the Mage Tower contest, well, I guess the Battle for Strixhaven contest, we found something on one of the creatures that was there. It was causing it to be aggressive. I don't know if it's normal for the competition or not, but it seemed odd. And we took it and looked in the books we have access to at the library and found a couple of things, but nothing that seemed to really fit. And one of the professors mentioned that the Scriptoria collection might have more. So we thought we would look there. What we're specifically looking for is just information on magical beast with insectoid type physiology.
It sounds like a dangerous creature, though I'm unsure of the origins.
We agree. We think it may be dangerous. It's just why we want to find out more about what it might be.
And so, we would never put ourselves into harm's way. Like, we are definitely
Like you
safe.
didn't with the scorpion?
Could Karen have never told her parents about it, or did they find out?
Oh, they found out.
Oh! You know about that!
Yes, I know that you almost died last year. Of course your mother knows that.
Well, you'd be happy to know.
I was there.
Chad helped me not die.
No,
So-
he didn't.
Shut the fuck up right now.
I'm not there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm there.
I would love it if Sin just exclaimed that. I thought it'd be
Her?
hilarious.
And just so I'm remembering correctly, we didn't really go looking for trouble when that scorpion thing happened, right?
Yeah, trouble just tended to find us.
Yeah, it's
We
the
are
Harry
trio
Potter
from
effect.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. And
So,
Miss Singh, it is important to note that we were not looking, we were not trying to do anything dangerous when that happened. Something seems to be odd. There have been a few occasions where strange creatures have suddenly shown up on campus. And it is, I don't know. I personally wonder if perhaps this insectoid creature that we've found this piece of chitin from may somehow be related to that.
Well, I suppose there's no harm in looking through some books, but please keep my daughter out of trouble. And she'll scribble out a note for the biblioplex.
Hall pass.
Nice. Thank you, Mom. And we're up for dinner in like 2 days. Me and Chad maybe doing some reintroductions.
We make a roll for your mom. Make me a persuasion check.
Nice.
Teacher's got to have a high insight, right?
This isn't the... Oh, hold on. I've got the book right next to me. 1 second. I didn't have the right stat block pulled up.
Got a +10 to insight to see if kids are lying.
I have a feeling this is going to turn out.
Wait. Does mom have advantage on calling bullshit?
No, she
Get
does.
advantage because it's her own daughter.
Exactly.
Yeah, she
No,
probably
she's
does.
got a plus like 5 to this roll, so that's still
Oh.
only
Yeah.
21.
Ooh.
So she says she has a big sigh, and she says, "Fine, I will give the boy another chance." And she like gives you a hug, and she says, "I'm sorry. I've been too harsh."
No problem. And like, thank you for giving him another chance. Because if Grandma and Grandpa have told me anything, like, this was nothing compared to you and Dad when their first meeting with Grandma and Grandpa. Like,
Your-
worse, right?
Your grandmother's
It was
going
worse, right?
senile. Anyways,
So you're telling me that Dad didn't like show his underwear just to show how responsible he was?
your father is just like has a big shitting grin on his face, and he says, "Like father, like daughter."
He wore his Thursday britches on Wednesday.
But thank you for giving him another chance. It will not happen like that again. I'll actually prepare him this time, and he definitely will not say, will do a backhanded compliment of, "I'm very happy you're showing your arms like that. They're looking very spiffy, ma'am, that you're very confident with yourself." He really meant that as a compliment. He's just very nervous, and he tends to just spew out diarrhea from his mouth all the time.
I don't understand what it is you see in that boy.
You know, maybe it's the same thing you saw in Dad.
Your father's a brilliant professor.
And Chad's a
Oh,
brilliant
then I don't think it's the same thing.
man. I think, how is Chad doing academically?
You know what? Let me roll for Chad's last test. Hold on. I'm
Hey,
gonna.
babe, check it out. We're in the same year now.
I mean,
let's see.
he's made it to the third year.
Let's
He's got to be
see.
some kind of smart, right?
Chad was just rolling up
Nope.
armor.
Chad
Fucking Chad failed
Chad
again.
failed his last test. I'm gonna write.
that
That is
right?
a third key
No, we don't.
NPC that has failed the test with the reroll. I'm writing it down. Wow, how did all three key NPCs fail? That's amazing, and no one else did. That's amazing.
My NPC succeeded. Thank you very much.
Oh my god.
I'll just say this, Mom. He makes myself. We both accentuate each other, you know, kind of like adding that a giant cinnamon to the lucky dish. You know, at first it doesn't seem like it's going to work out, but then it does, and then the lucky, you know, just boom. You know, that's what we are. I'm cinnamon, and he's the lucky dish.
Don't you try to use giant to suck up to me.
True. Isn't it like that? Oh, well, anyway, Mom, we'll see you later, everyone. We gotta go.
That was great. What would anyone else like to do with their downtime?
Sorry, the
Well, I
chicken-
had my job in the morning.
To the Fire Jolt Cafe, then? Is there anything you specifically want to do at work?
No, not specifically. Talked to Mina a little bit.
Hey, Sin.
Hey,
Welcome to work.
yeah, busy as always.
Not really. It's kind of dead today. I don't know why.
It's weird. I thought it was exam day. People would be crunching first thing in the morning.
No one's really been in here. Yeah. How are you doing?
I had a rough night, but otherwise, pretty good. Got a good grade on my test today.
Good for you.
Wait, is Mina in the same class as us?
No, she's a year above you.
Oh, right. Oh, cool. Hey, how's your stuff going?
I'm doing okay. I've got some pretty hard classes this year, but you know, getting through.
Yeah, yeah. You know, there really is a lot going on. We got this battle for Strixhaven thing going on.
Oh yeah, I
Did you do
heard you
that?
guys
Like,
were doing that.
yeah, yeah. Didn't fare too well in the fucking tree thing. That was weird. Gathering mascots. Did you have to do that?
Oh, I've never participated in that. That's, usually a sorority thing, but I think it's kind of cool that you guys are taking on, the fraternities and sororities.
You know, we like to shake things up. What the hell was that?
Was
Sergeant
that me?
Hops.
Sergeant Hops just showed up. You know what? I think that espresso machine needs to be fixed. It's gurgling again.
Oh, not again. Yeah.
So, what's the latest gossip? Any good stories coming out for the Star?
Well, you didn't hear it from me.
Never
But
do.
I did have something for this. Where is it in my notes? Sorry. I have.
What? Can someone else type out what that stupid place was? Was it the Wither Tree? What the fuck was that place?
Witherroot Hall.
Witherroot. God, Witherroot. Thank you.
Well, is it Witherroot or Wiltroot?
It's Wiltroot. Thank you.
Wiltroot. Thank you.
It's the Wither Bloom campus.
Always
many
wilting
tree
and
places.
withering. So you almost think they were somehow associated with death.
Something
Wow, that'd be
like that.
crazy.
The black and green color scheme? What?
The ominous vines? No way.
I mean,
Oh.
I've got some juicy stuff too. If you wanna.
She tells you there are rumors that Professor Benneth Blackstone.
Does Sin know Blackstone?
Yeah, that's your teacher for scrivening and symbology.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, yeah. Ooh, what's the deets? Give me the receipts. What's up?
Well, there's no like hard evidence yet, but like there's been some accusations that he's been plagiarizing his work.
I mean, to be fair, professors have been plagiarizing for like millennia at this point. Is there anything specific? Any like juicy details to that? Or is it just like
He's been
he's
trying
skating
to
by?
Well, he's trying to pass off other people's work as his. You know what I mean?
Oh, that is not good.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the juiciest thing I've heard. How about you? Any good gossip from you?
Nothing relationship wise. Everything seems to be steady. But when we were doing the Wiltroot Hall thing for the battle for Strixhaven, there was some interesting happenings to the creatures that were inside. I think my friend Lavinia was saying that there was this large, like mushroom creature or large plant creature that had like this strange scale or chitin, which I think is like a scale, stuck inside of it. So like perhaps there's a creature that is attacking creature within the Wiltroot Hall. Which now kind of weird. 2 years in a row, something is infesting the school. Is there any other like weird things that are happening on people's exams and tests? Or
Not like there was last year. Like, all those kind of like weird happenings, but like I haven't heard of anything else. No, that's the first I've heard of it.
well,
Weren't you guys involved with some of that stuff last year too?
Sin shifts a little bit. Well, yeah. I mean, we were. We figured out that the Smedgemore, whatever.
The Smedgemore.
The Smedgemore, that place, yes, was, it was getting corrupted by some weird ichor. That's what caused the chest to lash out at people and cause the frogs at the party to turn rampant and enraged. But we were able to fix that with some holy water in the swamp, and that stopped whatever was causing it. But I think there might be something bigger at work, and it just happened. It happens to be around us for some reason. I don't know who is the target of this malicious attack. I don't know if it's the school by itself or if it's the people that are involved directly, which seems to be Cody Hall. But something's going on.
Well, I mean, look out for yourself. That sounds scary. I'll keep my ear to the ground though, to hear if I hear anything specifically about you all. I mean, it sounds a little bit like a conspiracy theory, but
It really, well, it's only been 1 year. It's been 1 year and one event this year, so it does feel that way. I mean, it could just be happenstance. I mean, we're in a magical university after all. I mean, shit happens every day, right?
It's true. I heard about an accident where somebody who was they had enchanted their shoes to be able to fly, and then they flew into one of the the fountains. Hilarious.
Oh,
but,
it was like a curse or something on the enchantment, or the enchantment went wrong and.
No, they
flew
just
in.
didn't know how to fly. It just whoop right into the fountain.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, but yeah, it's something that's been coming really popular on campus. It's just kind of like, magical. I guess they call it skating, and something that has been coming pretty popular lately.
Magical skating.
Yeah,
I like the sound of that. Is there like an underground club or something?
I think that there's some people that meet out back of Bow's End Tavern from time to time, and yeah, they usually have wands that make it so they can do that.
I might have to look that up. Hey, tell you what, have you ever heard of the girl code?
Only when you talk about it.
Right. Well, shit's getting crazy. People doing all kinds of weird stuff. Stuff's happening all over the place. I just want to let you know that I've got your back. All right. So if crazy shit happens, you let me know and I'll be there.
Okay. She kind of laughs and she says, "I don't think I've ever met anyone quite like you, Sid.
One of a kind." Also, if you get some juicy information on some really strange stuff, will you let me know? Because this whole infiltration, I think it's an infiltration. It's a conspiracy, but I think it's an infiltration of the university. Can you let me know if some crazy stuff happens?
She laughs, in that kind of "Oh, you crazy" kind of way. She says, "Yeah, I'll let you know."
Just wait until a strange man comes in your window.
All right. And then, is there anything else you'd like to do before we move on? And you can get a relationship point with Mina Lee.
Oh, that puts me to 2 of 2 for her, so I
think
get the
so.
boon.
You guys are buddies. Meepo. Meepo is going to run by the MTCS.
The Mage Tower Cheer Squad.
Oh, what the fuck is Nevo doing over there?
All right.
So, heard that there was gonna
These
be an
people are
opening.
not here anymore.
Heard that due to a last-minute change of the exam, the professor swapped out a few of their standard essay questions that they've been repeating for the past few years for some weird proxy that got submitted at the last minute. I heard that a whole lot of the higher cast of the student body got knocked down a peg or two this time around. So I heard that there'd be some shifting of availabilities about campus. So I thought, why not make use of this opportunity?
Sure. So you would like to try out for the Mage Tower Cheer Squad?
Yep.
All right. You know what, Meepo? Go ahead and give me either a perception. Perception? Why is that one of their skills?
I don't know, but that's not the one I'll be leading
I'm going to
on.
change that. Why is that not?
Be
Which
aware of
group
your
is it?
surroundings.
It's the Mage Tower Cheer Squad. I don't understand why performance isn't one of their things.
Maybe
Personally,
it was supposed to
Yeah,
be
it is weird.
performance. They accidentally said perception.
I guess you have to. It's a vibe check on the crowd. I guess.
That would be an insight, though, not perception.
You gotta look at the score of the game to let you know if you need to
No,
focus
fuck
on
the score.
offense or defense.
Offense,
mean, if they-
defense.
I'll make use of persuasion for this role.
I'm fine with that.
Trying to convince the coach to let me sign in.
Yeah. I was not.
18 on
I
persuasion
was not
check.
ready for this. Hold on. Let me grab somebody for this. I have NPCs. Yeah, you know what? You know who is on this squad is somebody that you have interacted with.
Our boy?
Somebody whose performance I've been particularly underwhelmed by. Oh, not the Minotaur guy.
No. In fact, it is Rutha, the mechanical artist. She's going to make great for this.
Excellent.
And because I think, didn't you talk to her?
I talked to her at one of the parties.
That's right.
The sign-up party.
So when you come in, she says, really, the Cody Hall's mascot wants to try out for the team. Well, fantastic.
No, but I thought I might give it a go. Considering how we sort of outpaced so many of the other campuses, with just the first event, I thought, how hard could it possibly be? And considering the underwhelming performance that I've been hearing about the rumoring murmurs of the crowds that have gathered so far, I thought surely I can at least assist in getting a crowd at least amped up for the next go-round. Something to make this a year that they're going to be remembering for the next few generations going forward. Something to get amped up about for the years to come.
She's just
Something
like,
that's not going to be easy to one-up.
she's just like staring at you with her mouth just like open, just like Zilly was this morning. This has been most people's reaction to you once you start speaking.
I got big plans for this campus, Rutha.
Okay, I don't know what's happening right now. What happened to the little? You know what? Sure, you could try out. Let me see what you got.
He'll drop the silent image
of a 15 by 15-foot dragon head that he's been working to perfect all of the past year
Yeah,
in
that
front of
is.
Rutha, and that dragon is going to like animatedly cheer out the last sort of cheer that he heard from the cheer squad at the last Mage Tower event.
Yeah, you could see that, like, as you're kind of doing it, she's kind of vibing with, like, what you're doing, and she even just kind of uses her magic to make flames come out of the mouth of it. And she says, okay, all right, I see you. Okay, little Mr. Talented over here, all right. How do you feel with getting thrown up into the air?
I think I'm well suited for it.
All right, well, you're on the team. Welcome.
Pleasure's all mine, Rutha.
Now, you know this doesn't mean that I can go easy on you in the battle for Strixhaven, right?
I'd be disappointed if you tried.
Why, if you don't mind me asking, why do you stay in Cody Hall? Why not come out to the Prismari campus? It's great. You would totally fit in.
I just feel like some of the gang about the hall is really the reason why I made it through the first year in the first place.
I mean,
And so now I'm trying to be there for them in their moments after they were there for me, so many of mine.
that's admirable. I mean, I just want to tell you, we all have, those first year friends, we go to our colleges, they go to theirs, we kind of, move on. But, it doesn't mean that you can't still be friends. But you should come by the campus more often. I'd love to see you around. I could show you around. I know some people that you might be interested in. What kind of other art do you create?
Well, I've dabbled a little bit here and a little bit there. I haven't had enough time in my schedule, unfortunately, to get on all the Prismari classes that I was hoping this semester. But, maybe we could discuss a couple of theories that you had about. I noticed that you were projecting a series of fiery illusions, and the light that you were refracting off of the spells also bounced off of the grass around you. How did you manage to maintain a light from the illusory source itself?
Oh, because it's not an illusion. She like blasts fire from her hand.
That is clever.
Sometimes you can just use the real thing. As long as you know how to control it, you won't get burned.
I think I've made a wise decision in signing up for the cheer squad.
You can go ahead and gain a relationship point with Rutha for joining the Mage Tower cheer squad.
Don't you get an extra bonus for being a part of an extracurricular?
I think you get to
Yes.
choose one of the skills, and you get a student die with it, right?
I think so.
You get one student die for that, and you can choose it for either of those skills, but only once per long rest.
There you go. Perception and persuasion. They're good one. They're good skills. Is there anything else you would like to do, Meepo, as you talk art with Rutha?
Meepo has begun his Mean Girls chapter.
Oh, she's gonna try to steal you away from Cody Hall so hard. All right. Anything else anyone would like to do during their downtime?
Yeah, Alistair needs to talk to Lavinia.
Sure. Do you want to do it at the dorms? Do you want to do it somewhere else?
Somewhere more private than the dorms.
Well, that's up to you. What is more private than the dorms?
The dorm bathroom.
Dorm bathroom. Lavinia,
Yes.
do you have a few minutes?
Yeah, I can have a few minutes.
I was curious. There's a spot out in the woods here behind the dorm. I spotted something interesting growing there. I thought I might show it to you.
Okay, sure. As long as you're not gonna like try to murder me, right?
No, of course not, Lavinia.
Okay, yeah. What kind of plant is it?
I'm not exactly sure. And he starts leading her that way. And basically, it's just sort of randomly away from the dorm.
Just enough out of eyesight of William.
Yeah, get far enough away that no one is going to be able to like see or overhear us. Okay, so I lied earlier. I don't actually have something to show you. I just needed to talk to you, and I didn't want others overhearing it.
Well, I mean, you could have just led with that. I would have still come with you anyway.
Yes, but if I told you in the dorm that I need to talk to you where no one else can hear me, then people would try to follow us. No one else was likely to be interested in the plant.
Oh, true.
Sin is very interested in plants.
After our tests yesterday, the professor gave me a note granting us permission to get into the Scriptoria collection, but he also asked if we could find a book and bring it to him. And at first I thought nothing of it, but when he asked for us to bring a book, I thought, well, great, then we can check books out and we can bring back whatever book we find that might help us. But then he said that you can't check books out from the collection. But he wanted me to get the book anyway. I don't know what exactly is going on, but I don't also really know what to do. I mean, we have permission to get in there, but I'm afraid if we don't get the book, then we may not have a fair chance in class moving forward.
What? But I mean, what is he gonna say? Oh, I blackmailed my students and they didn't do what I wanted them to.
I don't know that he'd have to. He's the one who grades the tests.
I mean, did he give you that kind of vibe that he's like vindictive?
Not exactly, but he. I don't know. It's just what are you supposed to do when the professor's asking you to do something you're not supposed to do in return for giving you access to what you were after?
Hmm. I mean, you could always decide after you see what the contents of the book are.
Well, I guess that's true.
Or you could simply go to Professor Blackstone and say, hey, like, turns out I didn't need that pass after all. Sorry. And give him back his written note because we have the note from Kieran's parents, anyways.
True. And
And
there's
then you
also
don't
no
have to
guarantee
feel
we'll
guilty
ever
at
actually
all.
find the book.
Exactly. Does he know where it is in there?
No, in fact, he made it very clear that he has heard it's in there, but the the collection is not well organized, so it will be a search to find anything.
Or it could be as simple as, we say we find the book, don't like what's in it, don't want him to know, then we lie about having found it.
I guess whatever we do, first we have to get to the collection, and then if there's any possibility we do try to get the book out, we have to have a plan. So we certainly can't just walk out. It just feels so strange. I mean, it's a book. I mean, it's a library. I know they want to have important manuscripts under control, but I just don't understand why he has access to the collection. Why wouldn't he go find it?
Well, what did he say that he needed it for?
He didn't. He just said that he was busy and that he needed someone else to go get this book for him. Maybe we need to see, I don't know, see if there's anything else strange about the professor. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks that he is more showman than teacher. Anyway, I figured you'd be the only one I could really talk to about this. Although, with that new headband, Meepo seems much more capable than before. It's interesting.
Just keep in mind that he might be a little bit more wily than usual with new knowledge, of course.
Well, anyway, thanks for listening to me.
Any?
Of course.
I mean,
Sorry.
clearly I couldn't talk to any of those dum-dums back in the dorm. I mean, two idiots
Yeah,
Lo and
that's-
don't understand
behold,
anything we're
I
talking
am
about.
the tree you're standing behind.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so
just mean,
hurtful.
Alistair.
Yeah, that was just because of the Skype or the messages.
Is there anything else anyone would like to do during downtime?
I have a
Yes,
conversation.
Lavinia needs to talk to Sin.
Sure.
So, I heard some interesting stuff about a professor today.
I was gonna say, where do you want to talk at?
Lavinia will actually make her way to Fire Jolt Cafe to bother Sin because Sin wanted to talk to her.
Sure. You knew Sim was at work.
Oh, hey, Lavinia, what's up?
Hi, I actually came to see when you are off work.
You look around. It is not busy. You got time right now if you want to talk.
Mina, you mind covering for me for a couple minutes?
She looks left. She looks right. Yeah, I think I got it.
Right on. Sin pours a couple cups of coffee and comes around the counter, hands one to Lavinia. We sit down. So, shit is going down. What's up?
Well, I mean, you left a note on my napkin this morning, so.
Oh, right. Now, a lot of things have happened. A lot of information. So, Will, he gave me a really weird look this morning.
I mean, doesn't he always when you flirt with him?
I wasn't flirting with him. He gave me a look before I said anything.
Lavinia's going to kind of give them an incredulous look.
I got my business on the side. I don't need Will. Okay? He don't want none of this, and he's missing out. But I had a conversation with Tasha last night, and I let Tasha know about how I got here, and then this morning Will was like looking at me like he knew something specifically about me, but I haven't told him nothing. Have you said anything?
No, I don't really make a habit of talking to Will.
I mean, it was weird. He gave me those knowing eyes, like, I know you, but I didn't. Like, did maybe Kathmina say something? Do you think maybe that she's like manipulating those two or something?
Well, I mean, I didn't really tell Casmina shit about you, except that you're a changeling.
Oh,
That's all. As
I
far as
left
I'm
out.
aware,
I left
that's
out
all she.
an important part. Somebody tapped into my brain while I
Oh,
was talking to
hey.
Tasha.
Did they
Like,
try? Did they tap into her brain as well, or did she feel it? Because that's how that works.
well, apparently, when I try to connect with people, I didn't know this happens, but I tap into their brain a little bit and I get information about them. By the way, I'm sorry. I did that to you apparently at some point.
She just kind of shrugs, like whatever.
Okay, cool. I'm glad we're on the same page. So it could have happened at the same time that I was connecting with Tasha because she was laying out her heart, I was laying out my heart, and we were kind of bonding, and I thought that's what it was. But I felt something, and I don't think it was from Tasha, and I got real sick. And then in the morning, Will never gives me a look at nothing. And then this morning, he made direct contact and gave me eyes, and I thought that was really weird. I think I think she knows.
Well, I had been kind of planning on talking to Will because I'd only really talked to Rowan about the Casmina stuff because I don't know, she's just not as much of a jerk as he is.
She seems to be forthright with like talking to people. She's really cool.
But I'm not sure if I'll actually get anything about him. But if I, out of him. But if I do, I'll kind of like bring it up, like, hey, notice anything weird about the hall or something, and maybe he'll bring it up. I don't know.
If you want to slide into her DMs, get with Earth Math Talk and get some really strong mushrooms because she likes those. She'll loosen up after a couple of really crazy mushrooms.
Rowan?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not worried about her. I'm worried about Will.
Why? Get information on Will from Rowan. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah. I mean, they're like twins or whatever.
Did Lavinia tell Sid about that? About the whole Rowan and Will thing?
Yeah, that they have a spark.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm comfortable talking to you about it. So there's that. Now, getting a little closer. Mina just told me, this is crazy because we just got out of class this morning, that Professor Blackstone is allegedly plagiarizing his work.
Oh. Okay. I have something about him as well.
Oh, the plot thickens.
So, Professor Blackstone gave Alistair permission to go into the Scriptoria collection if he brought a book out. But you can't check books out of the Biblioplex. So he basically
Yeah.
wants Alistair to just smuggle the book out. And now, because he said that, I bet you he's trying to plagiarize that shit.
What? Did he say what book?
Did Alistair tell Lavinia the book?
Yeah, he would have mentioned the name of the book.
Okay. Yes, it
That book.
is Wheel or Woe, an interpretive sketch by director Eric Quenthorne.
Okay. Interesting. I have a feeling that this guy is looking at other people's research and tweaking a little bit to make it his own. There's a possibility here that, I mean, this is wild in conjecture because I know Kieran cares so much about her parents. This might be able to help Kieran's dad. Maybe he can slip in and be like, this guy is not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Maybe we can right the wrongs.
I mean, that could help, but if there's not like sufficient evidence and stuff, then it could actually also end badly.
Well, if he's actively getting students to try to steal books for him, which he's a grown-ass adult and a professor up here and he can go get his own damn books, tells me that if you put him under a zone of truth, he ain't gonna pop no good questions. He's good answers. He's lying.
I mean, yes, but we also could just not get involved in this. I advised Alice there just to like lie if we do find it.
Oh.
And then we don't have to deal with this petty plagiarism bullshit.
That's also a fair point. We could blackmail the professor so that way we get
Ooh,
good grades for everyone for the rest of the school year. I mean, I'm not above it. I did corporate espionage.
Did you really?
Yeah.
My dog objects.
I mean, if we're not going to expose him, use him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, we have all the cards, right? He's plagiarizing work. He's getting students to take books out of the library, which is not allowed, so he's breaking rules. This guy is scum, so we either use him or ditch him. Because I want to learn stuff, and if he's not teaching us anything, he shouldn't be there.
You have a fair point.
But at the same point, having a professor in our back pocket might not be bad in the future, too. So it's a very difficult decision.
And ultimately, it's Alistair's decision.
It's true.
Kind of like his task, like,
But this professor is kind of tied to all of us, and he knows that Alistair runs with us, and if Alistair doesn't do what he does, guess what? We're all flunking.
Mm.
He's got us by the proverbial balls.
I don't know why I thought that was funny.
So, we got some juicy information. I think, considering that a lot of terrible things have been happening to us, we got to take this situation by the horns. We have to do this. So, I think we should get it together as a group and make sure we're all on the same page.
Agreed.
I mean, this is our education we're talking about. We can't let it just go willy-nilly.
Yeah, true. It would be a little fun, though, to cause a little chaos.
Oh, I love some chaos. You know that. I mean, you broke my leg earlier.
That's a shame that it didn't work.
I honestly thought it was gonna work, but
because your entire farm changes.
Apparently not the superstructure. The exterior does, but not the inside.
So while they talk about busted legs, is there anything else anyone else would like to do during downtime before we go to the Scriptoria collection?
I would like to talk to Sin and Shad if it's not too much.
Sure. I mean, absolutely. That could definitely take place at, like, the dorms, easily.
Oh, yeah, definitely. In the dorms, outside in the common room. I have a plan. It's a good plan. It's the best plan. All right. I'm so happy all of you are gathered here today because I now have a second chance to meet my parents, Chad. My mother's is giving you another chance despite the fact that when you couldn't describe what you were actually studying, you used your hands a lot and you caused that small little fire at a table, which interestingly enough was not the worst thing that happened. But
look, I'm really sorry about her dress, babe. Like, I didn't mean to do that. It just
it just happened, Chad. Just happened. But
look,
this time,
I was so nervous, and like you made such a big deal out of meeting them, and then I totally blew it. I've got it this time, though.
Yes, and I have a contingency plan just in case we think things are going south. And Sin, this is why I invited you here today. So Sin, tell us, what's your special ability that you like to do all the time? Hello.
Sin?
Did you repeat?
No, his circle's lighting
Hey,
up, but I can't
hi,
hear him.
hi. No,
There
I,
he
I was
is.
muted. I was muted because I coughed earlier and I forgot to turn my mic back on.
Oh no.
So, hey, Chad.
What's up, bruh?
I, what's up? I need your consent.
Consent for what?
To
And I
to
know
copy you.
that consent is key.
Exactly. I am going to help Kieran. You want to help Kieran, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the plan. We're going to be twins for a day.
I don't know. You're
Take-
kind of
take my
like
hand.
small and dainty, and I'm kind of like big and buff. Like, how's that supposed to work?
Just shake my hand. Sin holds out a hand.
Okay. He like shakes your hand.
As he shakes, Sin turns into Chad.
Whoa!
It's not too. Hey,
You're me.
I'm you.
Whoa.
I know, right?
Wait. If you're me, what number am I thinking?
Dad, I don't think it works that way, honey.
G.
Huh. I wasn't thinking about a number. Wow, you're good.
Right.
All right.
So, I think the current plan is, when you need to say something smart, you need to walk your way back to the bathroom, say, "Excuse me, Mrs. Singh, I have to go use the gentleman's room." And then you come in, let me know that intelligent conversation needs to happen, and then I'll step out and fill in for you for just a little bit. And then I'll accidentally spill something on my pants and say, "Excuse me again, I need to go clean myself, clean out, and I'll bring you back in."
Okay, maybe don't spill anything on anything. Just, I don't know. you
Okay,
need to
maybe
watch-
something a little less drastic, but
Yes, of course.
another excuse. I don't want to be there the whole conversation because I want you to be you, but not so much you that you ruin the whole conversation.
What? Are you saying that you're like embarrassed of me, babe?
No.
That
no.
you'd rather have like Sin there than me?
Kieran is going to grab his hands. Look,
Which one?
my father loves you. He loves you. Believe this or not, this is it's not the worst dinner he's been a part of. Just ask him about how the first dinner with my mother's parents. But Chad, the person that you have to impress is my mother, and my mother has very high standards. Like very high.
I don't know. Like, look, I have enough self-worth that I know that I don't have to impress anyone. So, like, if they don't like me, like, that's like their problem, babe.
Chad.
Punch Chad in the arm. I do believe she said not to call her that.
Oh, right.
Thank you. Chad.
Fucking Chad, punch a Chad.
It is really important that I try to impress my parents as much as possible because I want to show you off. You mean a lot to me, and I want to show it to my mother and father because frankly they just keep doing this and I keep disappointing them all the time, and then I just think that I'm just not going to be able to do it. Like last year I got into so much trouble and I don't want to.
I'm sorry. Don't cry. Yeah. Fine. I mean,
Look, Chad, it's completely up to you. If you feel like you're overwhelmed, Sin is just going to be a tap-in buddy. If you just feel overwhelmed about a conversation, that's all you have to do. You just have to say, "Excuse you" to the restroom, because I also don't want you to face, like, the horrible disappointment on your parents. It's the worst kind.
Hey, look, I think that this is going to be totally fine, all right? And if you absolutely need to, all right, I got your back. This is the girl code, all right? So if you need a breather, just come back to the bathroom and we'll calm you down, Chad, and make sure that I want you do not try to impress her parents. Just be yourself. Because if you're trying to impress, then you're not being yourself. So just be yourself,
I mean,
and
like,
we'll make sure we get past it.
I want to be myself. When I try to be somebody else, I always end up messing it up, like I just want to be me, but Karen doesn't want me to be me around her mom, you know.
Don't. I want you to be you. But I also don't want to have a dinner like what we had. Remember when we got to the salad dish and then you just got so nervous that yet again you decided to shakily try to grab some salt that wasn't there and then it ended up on my mother's dress
Well,
again?
if I might
That was pretty
say,
bad after the fire too.
And then
Okay.
you said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Singh. I'll leave you alone." And I told her that she definitely doesn't like puns.
But
So-
it was hilarious, babe.
It was hilarious.
It like, look, maybe they just need to listen to me, do my slam poetry. You know how good I am at my rousing verses, babe. I mean, Kieran.
Thank you. Is he good at slam poetry?
Yeah, no, he actually is like, that's like his talent is like, he actually is like when he performs, he's actually a pretty good like orator and like, things like that. It's like having a boyfriend who's secretly in a band and their band is not half bad.
Aw. Okay.
I-
You know what? You can. Don't you have like? Do you have any slam poetries in like 2 days?
I
Maybe
can. I could put this together. Do you want to bring your mom to one of my things, my shows?
Yes, of course. And then when we sit down, we can have Sim waiting in the wings just in case you get overwhelmed. He can come. They can come in and they can just talk. This is
Again,
perfect.
I find that part insulting, but if you
It is
think
not
you have to have that as a backup plan, I affirm your feelings and want you to know that I am fuck. What did Lavinia tell me to say? Supportive of you.
I'm very supportive of you, and I know this is really hard to do, but I really want you to. This will be the only time. The only time. This is the only time.
If I might say, Kieran, you might not want to put too much pressure on Chad because then he'll start to slip up. So it's going to be fine. I'm going to be there to back both of you up.
Yeah.
So, Chad, just do what you do, man. Because if you do you, the parents are going to love you no matter what. Don't try to impress them.
Actually,
just be you.
I just remembered a problem. Well, I totally failed my arcanobiology test. Sorry, my arcanoherbology test. Are those the same
my
thing?
God.
No, it was definitely herbology. Yeah, because it was plants, not animals. That's why I failed. But I can't do like officially sanctioned extracurricular activities, so it'd have to be like one of the underground shows. Kieran, like the one I took you to.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And then afterwards we.
Yeah.
I remember
Oh,
that.
that was a good night. But
I don't think you want to bring Mr. and Mrs. Singh into an underground show, though.
No, it's actually pretty.
it's
Your
fucking
mom
it's
doesn't
fucking
seem like the
rad,
type.
man. There's like lights and we do graffiti and like there's all sorts of like cool magic happening and oh wait.
Do you
Parents
really
are
want two professors seeing all that, though?
Yeah, I
It would
just
ruin the whole
realized
thing.
that. Oh fuck.
Tell you what, Chad, would you like me to step in for you?
No.
No, at
just-
class.
I don't
You-
know. You passed my
I want to
arcane
make sure that
herbology
you all
test.
can. I can make it work.
You do know that if you get caught, we're both getting expelled, right?
I mean, I'm just trying to support my friends, so however I can.
Yeah, but like, hold on. 1 second. I need the name.
I mean, come on, I can't. I got to be able to be more Chad than Chad, right?
But I'll be honest, Professor Tavash is kind of a hard ass.
Do I know who Professor Tavash is?
Yeah.
Oh, the Gloom Summoner. Oh, that's great.
Who else would teach arcane biology or herbology?
This does not
Hey,
look like
guess
a man
what?
who can cheat.
I can fake it till I make it. That's one of my shits. Chat, I'm just saying, it might be worth the risk. If it's not, then I understand as well. But I'm just saying, personally, I don't think that the professors would like an underground show that much.
I disagree. It's fucking rad, and everyone enjoys it. And it's not like I haven't seen the cool professors there before.
Are they the cool professors who go over to the smoking area and try to bum off cigarettes on the students?
No, your mom kind of has the reputation of everyone's fucking scared of her and, like, doesn't want to take her class. Your dad's,
Oh, you know what?
your dad's pretty cool, though. You know, him and I went to a Mage Tower match. Oh, I don't think I told you that. He kind
No,
of told
wait,
me
what?
not to tell you that.
Wait, what?
Shit. But,
Your dad's just really cool.
yeah, he really is. Sorry.
It might be worth, Kieran, to implore to your mom on a more, like, mother-daughter level that this is really important to you and this is what Chad is really like. And you might want to just get her to go anyway.
To the underground slam poetry thing?
Could be
Yeah,
fun.
if she really loves you, then she'll go and try to support what you're trying to support.
Hey, thanks, Sid. I'm really smart.
Fist bump Chad with Chad.
Boom.
You are really smart, Chad, actually. Like, very
Family
smart.
is very important.
At this point,
And
Karen, it's
she should
starting.
love you.
It's starting to get hard to tell them apart.
It's really, really hard to tell you guys apart, actually. I don't know how
What's better than what, Chad?
to
Two
tell.
Chads.
Two Chads.
You know what? Chad, we should hit the iron sometime.
You know what? I could go for a little gym sesh. Let's go.
Let's go. Just fucking leave
He
Kieran
just
and
like
go
he
bump iron.
fucking takes off his shirt and then goes with you. All right.
Did Sin just steal my boyfriend?
Yes. Very
Wait,
much
wait,
so.
No, Chad just stole your boyfriend.
Do I get a relationship?
I mean, I think don't you already have two with him?
I don't know.
Do you get one with Sin? Does that count?
Oh, yes.
Does
Yeah.
Sin get one with Chad?
Sin gets one with Chad. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Really quick, cause yeah, let's do this before we end for the evening. We're going to go to the Scriptoria collections. If anyone has anything else they want to do during that downtime, let me know. We can do it next time. So, you all do eventually make your way down to the Scriptoria collections with your 2 permission slips. As you make your way down the winding staircase, the passage's gloom gives way to a warm light. The room before you is spacious and comfortable with gleaming bookcases, wide tables, luxurious chairs, and an inviting lounge, and a hearth. Oil paintings of breathtaking landscapes and heroic spellcasters line the walls, and antique spherical astrolabes are proudly displayed along the northern wall. So this is the Scriptoria collection. The spacious room is below the main floor of the Biblioplex. And yeah, welcome. How would you like to proceed?
What are we looking for again? I mean, there's a book that screams over there. That's pretty good. Oh, screaming in different languages. Oh, cool. Now with audio. Oh.
Tasha is kind of gonna start going ham and just start browsing through books as much as possible.
All
If
right.
you'd like to make an investigation roll.
Please make an investigation roll, and don't forget you have your student die available to you because of your last test.
Alistair's going to do the same thing.
What is that student dice? What kind of dice is it?
Should be a
D4?
1d4.
It's a D4.
D4.
That you can add to the roll.
Oh, that's a 13.
Meets it, beats it. What kind of a book are you looking to find?
Anything on Phyrexians?
You do find a history book, one of Quenthorne's histories of other planes, and in that book, if you spend an hour reading it, are you going to spend an hour reading it?
Yep.
So if you spend an hour reading it, then you're going to discover that there's a story in that book about the Phyrexian invasion of Dominaria centuries ago. And you read...
With Yawgmoth?
Uh-huh.
Damn.
But, like, you read about it, this is a very distant past, right? That you're reading about. And you're reading about this heroic character named Urza, who saved the plane of Dominaria from the Phyrexians.
Is that what the book says?
Yeah, it's basically the history of what actually happened. Not like
What
like
actually happened.
all of the details, right? But like it's a history of the Phyrexian of the Brothers' War, right? Like from a very broad like history book kind of perspective, like and then Urza and fought the Phyrexians and blew up the Obliterators and did this to close the portals and like stuff like that.
Wait, did they retcon the lore, or is it still Urza dies in Yawgmoth's world? And then that dude comes out and kills Yawgmoth with the Everblight? Or is that retconned?
I think that at some point the whole plane of Phyrexia is destroyed. And that's what ends the Brothers' War. But I could be wrong. We could always retcon it.
Okay.
But that is what you find.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna spend the entire time reading that book. And when I can, I'm going to use my keen mind to copy it. So I don't have to steal the book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alistair got a 15 to look for books about the chitinous creature.
Okay, Alistair. So you do find a book in the collection that is a tome about magical creatures, penned by Ark Quenthorne himself. Do you spend at least 10 minutes studying the tome?
Absolutely.
All right. You learn that Director Quenthorne discovered creatures lurking off campus called mage hunters. The tome provides sketches of chitinous plates, chitinous plates? How am I supposed to fucking say it? Chitinous plates?
Yeah, chitinous.
Matching
Honestly, I think either
chitinous.
one's valid.
chitinous plates matching those the characters found. So it's the kind of same thing that you found. The tome states that pairs of mage hunters break with their allies to hunt specific individuals who catch their attention. Let me get you a picture really quick, because I didn't do that, and I can. One moment. Because there is a sketch of one. It's loading.
Oh,
God.
that's horrifying.
Yeah. It's these spider-like creatures.
And you say they basically hunt in pairs and will split off to go hunt specific mages.
Yep.
Oh dear God.
I'm not a mage.
I just go to school there.
Actually, I got the strength to wield a big sword now.
That's disheartening. That's what that is.
The more I look at this, the more like, that's a tyrannid.
Hey.
You aren't wrong.
That's an abomination. That's what it is.
Hey, we're
Technically,
Hulk kings.
it's a monstrosity.
Ooh, oh, shit. Damn, I'm not there.
Not here, you don't.
Just hear a bunch of cursing from the other room.
I know a guy who knows something about that.
Oh, he obviously picked up the book on curses in different languages. You've got everything.
Excuse me, I can't curse in 37 different languages.
Anyone else that would like to do research down here?
Can I do a bit of research, just real quick?
Sure. What you looking for?
So trying to figure out what was on the back of those necks from the sororities, the illithids. I
Oh,
believe?
the worm things, right?
Yeah, make me an investigation check.
Okay. If I sing while doing it, can I get advantage?
No, but if Meepo inspires you, you could get inspiration.
No, I'm good.
Meepo would like to assist in trying to find out what that is because even with his
that could give you
advanced
advantage.
intelligence, he
Hey.
doesn't know what it was.
There you go. With Meepo's help, you absolutely get advantage.
Oh.
Didn't even need it.
I
Natural 20. Well, hey.
Determination.
This book here?
So you do happen to find Wheel or Woe, an interpretive sketch. You do happen to find that book. But you also find the book next to it, which is another one of Quenthorne's histories. And spending some time reading this history, you discover some interesting information. Director Quenthorne, who was the director of the school at one point, did write about a student who practiced some bizarre magic while attending Strixhaven during Quenthorne's tenure as an administrator hundreds of years ago, like 200 years ago. This student used magic to siphon energy and life from creatures. And the tome describes the strange magic's kind of like lingering aura of shadows. And that this student is also kind of identified as being one of those that brought back a specific artifact during an like a expedition, and that is when Quenthorne kind of started observing some of this behavior from this student. The tome states that the student that the student's name in this history is like blacked out. So there's like any mentions of the name seem to be illegible.
Oh, he's redacted.
Quick question. Has this been all handwritten?
Yes.
Is there a candle?
Yeah, there's tons of
Light
candles.
it up to try to see behind the redaction.
Yeah, can Kieran hold that name or those like the blacked out lettering to a candle and see if she can see behind it?
You try, but it seems ineffective.
Oh,
Magical redaction.
damn magic. Oh.
A wizard did it.
Sorry, Nick.
One of
If
the
only we knew a time wizard.
one of the reasons why this sticks out to you is because of where this artifact came from. And I do find it funny that Ryan did for Misthaven what he did.
The Shadowfell.
No, because somehow Ryan and my brains always operate on the same wavelength. Because this expedition was to the ruins of a illithid colony.
Oh. Great minds think alike.
I mean, it's not the first time that Kieran has read that word. When she learned about something called a hive mind. If the player Rachel remembers.
Yes, I do.
Dark shit.
So Kieran did find the book that we were here to look for, right?
Technically.
Yeah, as Kieran's reading, she's just going to, with one hand, she's reading the book, and the other, she's like, hey, everyone, I found the book. Someone just take it from me right here. Yeah.
Oh, we never coordinated with the people looking at the library, did we, Summer?
Are we not all there?
Yeah, all of
Are
you.
we?
Yeah, all six of you are here right now.
Oh, I thought I was pumping iron with Chad.
No, that was earlier.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, hey. Awesome, Kieran.
Yep, no, totally. Just looking.
Anybody else in the library with us? Sin looks around.
Yeah, it's there too.
Is it just Cody Hall kids?
Yeah, it's just the six of you down here.
All right, so everyone gather around.
I do have a quick question, real quick, before we have any discussions. Actually, I have two questions, because Lavinia does want to research something. But first off, when we go here, because this is below the Biblioplex, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is the student store still open? Because I finally decided what Lavinia wanted for the magic item.
You could have gotten it then. Yeah.
Can she have a bag of holding, please?
It's an uncommon item, I believe, right?
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yeah, help yourself.
Hell yeah.
You're going to steal all the shit, aren't you?
Is there... Hold on. I'm going to make a call here. Let me look at...
Of the uncommon items, bag of holding is usually one of the cheaper ones.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, she has to actually buy it.
No, you don't. You guys got it for
We get
winning,
one freebie
for winning
up
the
to a
event.
certain-
Oh, okay.
You know what? I'm actually, instead of just having a bag of holding, I'm going to straight up give you the handy haversack, because it's a backpack, and that fits with
college
school. And
Is it a Jansport?
because it doesn't get used enough. So you ask for the bag of holding, and instead the handy haversack is placed up in front of you. If you don't know what that is, I have the link to it. But I love the
3 extra
handy
dimensional
haversack,
spaces.
and I think it's great because it looks like a school backpack.
It works
And
for a
it
school
totally
setting. We're not
has
going
the,
out
like,
doing
it has
dragon hordes.
the Strixhaven logo on it and everything like that.
It's not just for Lavinia to sneak stuff, but also because she loves collecting things.
Yeah,
what's,
there you go.
what's your zipper pole game?
Huh?
What's on your zipper poles?
You got keychains and stuff like on your backpack?
Yeah, what's your dangly bits?
No, she doesn't have anything on it.
Oh. No raven skulls or some weird undead.
Who
goth
wants
shit?
to
Yet.
who wants to catch
Nothing.
Oh, yet.
who wants to catch Alistair up on what you all learned? Because I think Ben was missing.
have
You
a
found the
seat.
book?
Oh, you found the book, huh?
Oh,
Like the
look,
book,
there's
the book.
couches. Let's all discuss this over by the couches.
It was Wheel and Woe? Something of that or other?
Yep, that's the one.
By director Quenthorne.
What does it seem to contain?
It's some history about how they encountered some mage hunters on the outskirts with some chitinous plates and very similar descriptions to the kind that we found out there.
I thought that was in the book that I found.
That wasn't the book that you found.
That wasn't the book you found. The next book that was next to it was another historical document by the same director, Quenthorne. It was written about one student in particular from a couple of hundred years ago who practiced some bizarre magic. The magic that he used left a lingering aura of shadows, and it was used to siphon energy and life from other creatures. Every reference to the student's name in this log is completely blacked out, and it's identified that the same student is the one that brought back an artifact from some Illithid colony expedition. And it was upon his return that's when Director Quenthorne noticed this change in their behavior.
That's not good.
Kieran thinks it might be the same sorts of worms that we've saw on the necks of the girls, the sorority.
Oh, like the mind controlling kind?
The Zeta Beta kind.
Zeta Beta. So, I found some interesting information out about the professor who's requesting this book. It appears that Professor Blackstone has been plagiarizing his work for a while. And it seems like he's looking for new stuff to quote unquote teach. Or perhaps something more nefarious now that we're talking about mind controlling gobbledygook.
Well, I guess we really need to understand and decide what we're going to do with this book. The professor has asked us to bring it back. Sounds like it's, well, it may be here for a reason.
I mean, if he's a professor that is not actually a professor and he's faking it, and he's wanting to learn about an artifact that could potentially allow you to take control over other people, it seems like he's trying to worm his way, so to speak, into a higher position by means of mind control. But that's just me speculating.
Quick question, does this particular professor, is he an adjunct professor, or does he hold tenure? Does he have tenure?
He does not have tenure. He's
Oh,
fairly
fuck.
new.
I mean, quick way to rise in the ranks is to take control of other people.
What an asshole. Get in here on your academic integrity. What an asshole.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a lot of people, and I get whack vibes from this guy not being who he says he is. But, I mean, I'm just a student, so.
I think none of this is good, what we're hearing, right? So what is the plan? Because I just stepped back.
I mean, I don't know what he's trying to accomplish by getting this. He's a professor, he can get it himself. So why does he need a student to do it? It feels like blackmail.
I think we're going to be patsies. If he, for whatever reason, is caught with it, he could just as easily point the finger at us. I mean, who
I
are you going to
mean,
believe? A
what
bunch of
if
misfit
we
students? Or the professor?
what if we What if we hide the book in here and then just tell him we couldn't find it?
Well, then
What
he
if I
then he
just took the book so that even if he does get in here by another means, he can't find it?
We want to keep it out
I
of other
mean-
students' hands if he's manipulating people to
Oh,
try to come in and
true.
get it, right?
well, if I were a student, I'd look on the bookshelves first of all. I wouldn't even look in it. So, what if we cut a hole into one of these cushy sofas, put it in, tie it up and mend it so that way no one else can see it right away. So at least we have a bit of time.
This isn't like a dark book that emanates any kind of magic or anything, right?
No, Wheeler Woe, an interpretive sketch, is a book that is about auguries and interpreting auguries and things like that.
That's the book that he wanted, not the
Yeah, that's the book that he wanted.
not the dark book.
No, the book that you found the other stuff is Quenthorne's history.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, there's like
Still,
There's quite a lot of
There's
books
like-
by him in here.
oh,
Yeah.
that's because this is an entire collection that was donated by director Quenthorne.
Huh.
He's
Still.
so generous.
why would a professor need students to come and get a book from another scholar?
Yeah, director Quenthorne was a leading occult scholar who specialized in studying the esoteric power inherent in physical objects, especially written words and symbols.
I'm still
So-
sticking with my
And
theory.
later
Just
in
want-
his career, Quenthorne shifted his interest to the evolution of magical creatures, especially those associated with spellcasters, so the records contain a dazzling assortment of information.
So Wheel and Woe is basically a book about death omens.
It's about the spell augury and interpreting
Oh,
auguries.
okay. I thought you meant it like literally.
So this professor is trying to learn about telling Wheel and Woe potential futures. Interesting.
I mean, I could potentially ask my parents about what they think of him. Maybe get some inside deets.
I can see if my contact has got some deeper information. She could do some digging.
We could just confront the professor about their intentions.
I mean, I still want to pass my class.
Look, I gotta be honest with you. If we're going to do direct assaults, we gotta be careful. I already got in trouble one time and my dad had to suffer for it. If I make another mistake, who knows what's going to happen to his career. Or my mother's career.
Oh, interesting you say that. What if, say, Margot asked the professor about what he's doing?
That's a really good joke, Sin. She's never going to do it.
I wasn't joking.
Well, how the fuck are we going to...
Sin just taps her head.
Right, I forgot you can do that, and you lifted weights with my boyfriend while you were transformed with my boyfriend. Okay.
By the way, he's got really good form.
Oh my god, he absolutely does. Anyway. Okay.
I need everyone to roll me a perception check.
I'm too busy gossiping. I'll try.
Perception check?
That's a 4.
Oh, shit. 17.
Kieran's too busy gossiping.
11.
Lots of people are listening to the tea. Now, anybody that rolled above a 10, and especially Tasha and Alistair, you hear a groan that echoes throughout the quiet room. And then it kind of goes away.
What?
The fuck was that? All right.
Sorry, I skipped dinner.
I was gonna say, who skipped lunch?
And you know, he does that one thing where he just like keeps pumping it real fast and like honestly, it's pretty intimidating to watch and like his knees do that weird kind of thing.
And as you kind of go back to talking, you hear this groan echo again throughout the quiet room, like metal grinding upon metal. All 5 of you turn around as you spot movement from the largest astrolabe along the northern wall behind you, as this device is overlaying copper rings become lashing, barbed tentacles. That's not the thing I need.
God, Professor, with darkness head to the dive. God, watch out.
Damn it, not the astrolabe.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Didn't what? It was in the book. Animating objects. Ah,
Why is this thing not doing the?
it's dancing. Oh God,
Not
Kieran.
even very well.
Kieran,
It's
woo
not
it
letting
with
me-
your wilds.
There we go. I was like, it wasn't letting me do the thing. As
It's kind of
this
cute.
It is.
No.
this automaton unfurls, that's where we're gonna leave it.
Oh
Does it
my
look
God.
friendly?
God.
Is it friendly?
No, it's not.
It does not look friendly, as those like overlapping copper rings are lashing
It's a
barbed
fucking
tentacles.
Decepticon. Watch your leg, Kieran.
But that's gonna be the end of our session.
That was fun.
It was really fun.
That was real
A
fun,
lot of
Nick.
fun.
There's no telling what's going to happen next.
I got to do so much gossip. Oh, so cool.
I mean, is the professor like? Is he trying to get us to help him investigate this thing because he knows something shady's going on? Is he trying to steal stuff and knowledge so he can keep plagiarizing?
He
So
is
many
100%
questions.
the Professor Was it Lockhart from Harry Potter?
Right?
Yeah. Gilroy Lockhart. He's the Lockhart of this shit. He's plagiarizing the shit out of it and mind controlling the people that aren't doing his will. Bring him down. Down with the system.
Yeah, that was a fun
I
session.
really enjoyed playing Chad. I enjoyed that too much.
I loved it when everyone's like, wait, Chad's good at something?
Quick question. Would we be able to kind of retcon it that Luvenia could look at the Planeswalker stuff she was trying to look for?
Yes.
If there is anything?
If there's anything that you wanted to do research on, this is the place to do it. So, did Luvenia make an investigation check?
No, we
Go-
kind of just hopped right into the conversation.
Yeah, go ahead
Sin
and,
didn't
and
either. I
roll
didn't know
me,
we were there.
roll me an investigation check.
Oh, okay.
I would
11.
aid.
You do
I'll aid.
get your student die.
Can Sin aid?
Oh,
Because I
that's
wasn't
right.
doing anything.
Yeah, you can also roll with advantage with Sin's help.
Yeah. Planeswalker shit. And guidance. I'll give you a d4 as well.
So roll it again.
No, 13's high enough. That's the DC
Okay.
everyone else
Okay.
needed to hit. What specifically are you looking for?
Just anything on Planeswalkers. Anything.
Well, the book that Tasha's holding has a decent amount about planeswalkers in it.
Oh,
Is there something about Planeswalkers that you want to find? Maybe narrow the search?
I'm done
No.
reading the book.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I would like to take a look at that. Thank you. And she'll take it from Tasha.
It's a book about the history of a plane called Dominaria that used to have powerful godlike beings called planeswalkers. But that was a long time ago.
Is there by chance anything on where Casmina comes from? I mean, Planeswalkers seem to be powerful people.
You don't see her name anywhere.
Anybody with owl-like abilities?
Nope.
Damn. Okay, different library.
Is there any
She's not important enough.
Is there any specific planeswalker information you're looking for? Or just like records of planeswalkers?
Yeah, I guess she'll try to find that one, that same name that Rowan mentioned, Tezzeret.
Do you say that out loud?
No.
Sin knows about that already.
I mean,
And the two of them are looking at it.
I don't think his name would be mentioned in this book.
It was kind of a secret mention from
Now,
Luca
this
for
book
sure.
was about the brothers war in Urza and Dominaria.
Yeah, no, I don't think his name would be in this book.
Oh, I thought you were asking about in general for books.
His name probably is not going to be in any of these books.
Okay.
Don't worry, we'll find it eventually. That's a weird shit.
Weird shit. Because if there's nothing about him, then why would Rowan think he's important enough to bring up?
Exactly. Whack vibes all over it.
Are the two of you talking about this in front of Tasha?
Lavinia wouldn't want to. Lavinia doesn't know Tasha.
All right.
and Sin hasn't really given the okay of Tasha. So
Okay.
I can't. Nobody's asked me to spill the beans, so I can't spill the beans. Girl code.
Unfortunate. How unfortunate.
Most unfortunate.
I'm surprised I made it 10 sessions with the girl code. I think I'm doing all right.
Curious.
You're doing
Being a
nice.
paladin is hard.
Please.
Well, it's easy for you.
I've been
You
doing
just
it
have to be good.
I've been doing it for
Look at the
5
chaos
years. Good. I have to be lawful good. You know how hard it is to be lawful good?
Well,
When you're
it's easy
around
when you're
people-
king.
I don't know how you do it.
You're around so much temptation.
He makes the laws.
That part helps.
He makes the laws in his group.
Look,
I got a bunch of chaotic motherfuckers out here making
I'm
shit.
not. I don't tell you guys what to do. You know, I just get disappointed.
No,
when-
nobody else has to follow your.
There's
Oh.
just some disappointment involved when I don't agree with the decisions being made. And that just.
And we already get consequences for our actions. We don't need Rafal to do that.
True.
Just, I'm surprised we haven't had an "I told you so" moment from Rafal.
It's because he's lawful good.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's nice.
Yeah, you could totally do it.
I
At
think
the end,
the most lawful goodness that Rafal ever demonstrated was when he got Phelan to stop being a necromancer.
yeah, you shamed her into changing her whole way of life.
Couldn't do much about Nari being a vampire though. That one was kind of irreversible.
I don't know. She's kind of changed,
That's true. Something's
but I don't know if
changed.
that was Rafal or if that was
I don't know.
herself or Agrimar.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
and
Oh, what
I
are we
know
doing
we're-
next week?
That's a good question. Ryan, what are we doing next week?
We can do Misthaven because I know Amanda's not going to be able to make a Sunday for a minute.
A couple months.
Do you want her there? Does she need to be there for us to live?
She doesn't need to be. It'd be cool if she was though, but it's
Oh,
okay.
pretty fun.
What do you guys all think? Do you want to play without Amanda?
Oh,
it
I
would
thought
be
she
kind
got
of interesting if Nari kind of disappeared, after the
Again.
queen's body spoke to her.
again.
Because it would work out perfectly since she just failed a bloodlust roll
Oh, yeah.
right next to the queen.
Is this when we kill Nari? Oh God.
Nari is the big bad.
Vampires
know,
never got cured.
I think that brain thing's the big bad.
No. Let's focus on Nari.
I honestly thought that Nari got teleported out when you said that. Because you were like, she grabbed her, and then I thought she got bamped out or something.
Could be.
Nobody's on the floor with Nari.
That's
I
true.
mean, it wouldn't be Nari if she didn't come in at the most opportune moment for some reason,
These are Deus Ex.
and then and then
Vanished
leave right
mysteriously.
before the end of the big fight. She's
I-
she's pulling one of my characters, but she's not here.
How are we going to?
I mean, this could be the last, depending on how it goes, could be the last like combat session.
Look, I don't
game.
know. Does anyone else do this? I don't know. Like, you get almost to the end of something, and then you just don't play the end of it because you don't want it to be over.
Never done that.
Yeah.
That's how I do.
I've done that
Yeah.
with TV shows. I've done that with video games. I've done that with all sorts of things.
One of my favorite video games. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is Xenoblade Chronicles, and I've had it since 2015. I've had it on 3 different gaming systems. One of them was portable. 2 of them are portable, actually. And all I just need to do is step a couple of feet to start the main boss battle.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't picked it up in a year and a half.
I'm glad I feel seen.
I often do that with Mass Effect 3. Because the ending, it's just not happy.
Oh, I played that ending 3 times just to finish it.
I'll do it with like TV shows. I'll be like, I don't want to watch the end.
Mhm.
See, I don't like that. I'm a completionist when it comes to that
I
kind
think
of
you're a
thing. Like, I
completionist when
have
it comes
finish
to a
it.
lot of things.
Yeah, it's like I have to finish. I either quit like a quarter of the way through, or I finish all that shit. Like there's no in between for me.
I've
like,
only
like
completed.
part of me just doesn't want Misthaven to be over.
I know.
Well, it
like,
doesn't have to
after-
be.
Yeah, but it is, right? Like when Rafal becomes king, it's kind of over. Like that's
What
the
about an
campaign.
invasion to his kingdom?
Then we can do one shots in Misthaven.
Yeah, I was gonna
instead of,
say
like, a
one-shots.
Monster Hunter.
Hey,
Oh my
we gotta
God.
go planes hopping, y'all. We got some Agrimar shit to do.
We got to get rid of a ring too.
I just say
And if we ever reach level 20, we have gods to kill.
that's true. We have been
Exactly.
prophesied as god killers now. That is
I mean,
true.
we've only killed one.
Which god did we kill?
Didn't we kill the god of fate?
I thought we
No.
killed
No.
She
She
That was
was
the oracle to the
of
god of fate. Oh, we
Solvent.
haven't killed shit yet.
Yeah, no, but she prophesied that if we killed her, that we would kill the gods.
What if that was big talk?
Yeah, I
It-
mean,
It was not.
Rafal doesn't think in it. I mean, Rafal doesn't believe in it, so you're good.
Rafal also didn't believe that the Oracle existed in the first place. So
Well, now
Oh
she's
no,
dead. So
Rafal
technically-
said it was a trap, and he was right.
I mean, is it really a trap if you expect it to be a trap?
Yeah, it's still a trap. You still walked
It's
into a trap.
It's just you're not surprised by it.
Rafal, your whole life has been a trap, my friend.
Well, now I know that.
From the very beginning.
Just since you came back home.
So
From childhood. You've been tried to been assassinated, sold into slavery.
oh god, I'm just thinking about the battle ahead.
Or I mean, we're split in half.
We're split into 3 teams.
Split
Starting
in
4
half.
teams. 4
Yeah,
teams.
split multiple ways with the team on the top floor with the majority of their numbers currently paralyzed from a psychic blast to the face.
Oh, it's only
It's only
Zara who's-
Zara.
yeah.
That's a third
But
of who's up
half
there.
eaten.
All right,
That's
every-
true. That's true. No joke.
I gotta go make dinner. You have a good night, everybody.
Night, Jeremy.
Good night, everybody.
Jeremy.
See you on
We
Tuesday.
got this. We got this.
I hope so. Well, see y'all later. I need to actually make a lesson plan. And
And a
do adult
backstory.
stuff. Oh yeah, and the backstory.
Don't forget the backstory.
Don't, there's
Yeah.
no rush on that because it's not until like Misthaven's like finished like that we're
Ugh.
gonna do that.
So you got
God.
3 weeks.
So you got
Yeah.
plenty of time.
Yeah, well, Tomorrow's going to be...
don't give Rachel too much time.
I want her to brainstorm on it. I don't want her to decide things right away. I
Well,
want her to. What I want her to do is get in there and read the stuff about the world. That's what I want her to do.
Well, I have a basic concept. It's like a nebula.
Read
Dense.
the backstory of the world. It's gonna affect what you think.
Okay. Well, I'll see y'all later. I'm about to do a simulation that I've worked really hard on, and I hope the students will like it, and I don't think